This is XboxEra. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the XboxEra podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Everything XboxEra does is only made possible by the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our MVPs and executive producers are all incredible people, but even more so are our grand benefactors, Croat56, Assassin, and Kevin S. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely and benevolent CEO, Torn Raptor. If you want to become part of one of the best communities on the internet, head to patreon.com/XboxEra, where your patronage can help keep us alive for another month. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the show. It's episode 278 of the XboxEra podcast. We're here to discuss the latest in gaming from across the industry, but overall we're focused on everybody's favourite platform, the Xbox console series of ecosystem. What platform is? Which is this? What is this? Is it both? I don't know. Joining us today is the lovely Deadly Headley instead of Special Nick because he's not here. Welcome, and the lovely Jesse Norris as well. And if you didn't know this, if you're watching and you're tuning in and you're like, who are these guys? Well, you should know that we're an independent publication and we're completely funded by, well, you watching right now. So big thank you to our Patreon benefactors, particularly our MVPs, executive producers, but our grand benefactors, Croat56, Assassin, and Kevin S, and our wonderful CEO, Torn Raptor. As always, let's get on with the show. Hello, lads.
Hello.
Hello. Hello,
How
everybody in the chat. I'm good. I'm tired, as evidenced by my rambling, nonsensical words.
And even though the team member that you guys started a crazy time for isn't here, we started at the crazy time anyway because consistency is really important.
It is to me. It is to me. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I could have gone to bed at 9. You messaged me and was like, are we starting at 9? And I was like, oh, I'd love to have been starting at 9. But autopilot brain took over. It was like 10:30 p.m. Prepare to stay up till 4. No, let's not do that.
I mean, if we give the people what they want, we have a lot to talk about. But
let's listen.
a lot of it's video games. You know, it's the fun stuff.
People don't want to talk about video games. They'd rather talk about like things they're angry about, like console exclusivity or prices increasing or the economy or politics. Ooh, we could do a politics at no. No.
I mean, we also kind of can't avoid it because, I mean, the very last news story of the day is entirely tied to it.
No, we don't talk about politics on here. We wouldn't have anybody left to watch us, would we?
Probably not.
No, I'm joking. Oh, dear. It has been a couple of tiring weeks for travel and shenanigans. Big thank you to you, Deadly, for hopping on and replacing the lovely Special Nick, who is away, I think, because he had some stuff going on, but he's now also away because stuff happened. I'm not going to, go into details, but sending all the love to Nick's fam. Hope everyone's good. Nothing scary. Like no one's dead. All right, I'll put it that way. No one's dead.
Okay.
Everything's fine. All right, nobody panic. But
Nick chipped a nail, and when that happens, he's out of it for a while.
Oh dear, it's going to be a silly episode. I can tell.
He had a big pimple. You can't show that on screen. You know him and his vanity.
No, yeah, he wouldn't allow it. It is lovely to see everybody. We have a lot we could talk about, so I guess it depends. It depends what the audience wants. Like Jesse and I are back from Gamescom. We played a lot of stuff. If you follow XboxEra, you would have read a metric butt ton of preview content this week alone. We've got one more big one coming next week, which I'm looking forward to revealing. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But yeah, let's start the show how we normally start the show, because Deadly's here. I haven't chatted to Deadly in ages, and I want to know one very simple question. What have you been playing, Deadly? What have you been playing in the world of video games?
So there are two games that have taken up a lot of my time recently. The first, obviously, is Helldivers 2. Not just because it's on Xbox, actually because I've largely been playing on PC, but with one of my best mates who does play on Xbox and currently only Xbox. So that's been really great. He has already overtaken me in terms of the ranking. So like he's already leveled up past me. He's put an insane amount of time into it. But yeah, I'm very, very impressed. I'm assuming Helldivers might be on the docket because it's done quite well.
This is the time to talk about it.
This is the time.
Awesome. I'm having a really great time with it. There is a small bugbear that you raised in your review. I'm going to flag it because I think it's really important for Xbox guys to know up front. There is no cross progression at present. It's a real shame.
It is a bummer.
It should be implemented because for those watching, I'm sure there are many also excited about the Xbox ROG Ally, which I'm sure we'll talk about later as well. If you're currently using an Xbox console and playing Helldivers 2 on it, and then you decide to want to play that portably, you'll have to buy it through Steam. That's fine. That's expected. It's PC handheld. Is what it is. But you won't be able to carry your stuff over, and that's going to suck a lot.
Yeah, it hurts. I mean, I will say, from a technical perspective, Helldivers 2 does run on my ROG Ally X. I don't know how performant it would be. It's not great on handheld. It does run. I don't know how great it would be on the standard Ally, but I mean, if and when we get review units, I will certainly put that sort of thing to the test. But I do think that is one flaw of Microsoft's future progression, is in these weird instances where, look, let's be real, PlayStation, yeah, okay, they've published a game on Xbox for the first time from PlayStation Publishing, but they're not going to go out of their way to support endeavors like Play Anywhere or the Windows Microsoft PC Store. Like, that's a step too far, and we shouldn't expect it. I do wish that they could bring cross progression into the game.
If the future is, it can just play all your PC stuff. You don't need it. If you already had it on there and we're already playing on there, you just keep playing that version, which has cross-play, so you're fine.
Yeah, but no, the point is, if you bought the Xbox version now as a console...
Well, no, yeah, I'm saying for the next gen with that stuff.
Yeah.
This is that weird transition, isn't it?
Yeah, the actual future, it would not matter at all.
Super chat from good old Collingwood. How much time did you spend killing each other in Helldivers 2? I presume is what he's asking here.
I was quite careful to avoid friendly fire, but you know, it's Helldivers 2. It happens. I may have been on both the receiving end and the distributing end of napalm strikes. My bad. Actually, what I really do like about this update with Helldivers, or clearly them just sort of trying to welcome new players and give them more toys to play with in that opening week. They've given players some really nice stratagems just as part of the missions that they're playing, so you don't necessarily have to grind to unlock some really cool stuff to play with in the short term if you're just coming to the game. That's been really nice. It's like a really cool onboarding feature. I've heard loads of stories of Helldivers players, the regulars, being really welcoming to new players and shouting out Xbox players and dropping helpful stratagems like mechs and vehicles and power weapons for them. It's and I've seen that side myself, playing on PC alongside my mate on Xbox. That's been really lovely to see. That's what it's about. It's really
some
great.
of the footage and the first games I had when I was going through the Xbox version for review, and it was painful because I played a fair bit on PC, and I was like, I haven't got anything again. And I hopped in with someone from the UK that I know, and they were playing with two like level 112 Helldivers PC players, and these guys were just showing them the ropes and talking them through, and we ended up having a good old chat about like the game coming to the platform and what the Xbox players mean. And like we've seen the evidence of like, do exclusives sell consoles? Like there's an argument to be made, sure, but we've clearly seen a jump up to 500,000 concurrent players on Helldivers 2, remarked upon by the CEO of Arrowhead, no less. And a large number of them are Xbox players coming in for the first time and having fun. And I think fun is the operative word here. If there's one word I would describe Helldivers, is it feels like it's not really a live service game. It does do live service things in that it gives you these regular content updates and stuff like that. But the focus is on the camaraderie and the fun and the dedication to the ridiculousness of its premise. The sarcastic, like, for Super Earth and all that. Like, they're just so in on it. Like, I was just doing a mission before I hopped on to the show where our mission was just to go around to 3 different places and raise the flag of Super Earth. And while this pole is slowly like rising out of the ground, there's this fucking rousing, triumphant, like patriotic music, and I'm like, "This is great!" It was just napalm going off, and we were all just standing there saluting the flag.
I love
it's so dumb, but it encourages
saluting while you're like bombs going off everywhere.
It's mad, but it encourages the player to just fully invest and like. Even in our own review, like, and Jesse kind of burst the bubble for me because I was genuinely surprised at how many welcoming, kind, conversational topics there were between YouTube comments.
Infinitely more than there were the negative ones, but there were still a lot of negative ones. But where it's just like the sad people who just still are desperate to have some sort of A versus B warring.
Yeah, but it's been a really good week for Helldivers 2, and obviously they've got a big update coming on September 2nd. Which promises to take us to the Terminid Hive worlds and basically plans to fuck all our shit up. Great, let's go.
Good.
I don't think you've played Helldivers until you've played on like Helldive difficulty or above. So
that is something that I did earlier this week, or yesterday actually. So the good friend of mine, shout out to him, his name is Shawnee. He's an awesome dude. He jumped on Helldivers 2 as soon as he could. He put the time in deliberately trying to scale up the difficulty ladder instead of just focusing on solely grinding for XP, because the higher the difficulty you're in, the more XP you get. And he just went, screw it, I'm gonna grind my way into the most difficult setting to earn the stuff that I need to give myself that head start. And he took me along for the ride because, again, he managed to surpass the leveling that I'd done. And it's nuts. It really does dial it up. It feels really, really challenging until you actually realize, like, you basically just, it's basically 2-hit kills for any of the Helldivers, and it does get rough. But doing that with friends, getting to the end, getting to the point where you extract, doing those ridiculous like salutes while you've just got bombs going off in every direction, it's just fun, stupid craziness, and it just works. You're on mute again, John.
It's right, you don't have to point out. I always realize it's a video game. It's a video game, and I think it's great at being that. I love it. That's great. Good for them. Good for them, I say. Welcome to the new world order of exclusives on each other's consoles and people playing games together and having fun. And it's very weird. Yeah, Helldivers 2. Good times. Anything else you've been playing? You said one of two.
Yes. The other game that I've been playing, again, a PC only one, unfortunately, but I'm hoping that does come to other platforms soon, is Schedule 1. In the interests of not demonetizing the channel, urban agricultural specialist and business entrepreneur.
Oh, okay,
great
cool.
game.
How's that going?
It's good. Yeah, I've made a decent amount of money. Made some new hires recently. Managed to automate the urban agriculture production line quite efficiently as well.
Wow.
It's really surprising how deep the systems go in Schedule 1.
And it's funny how quickly it died for streamers because it got them demonetized. They couldn't play it anymore.
It's a great game though. It's really, really funny. Really enjoying that.
Is that the South Park graphical
one?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. What about you, Jess? You been playing anything exciting and fun and great?
Well, since the last time we did a podcast like this, oh boy. I'll start with, I did many reviews and stuff before leaving. First one up was Herdling, which joined Game Pass while we were in Gamescom, and I think is a fantastic title overall. I am a big fan of Herdling. I don't know how it's done on Game Pass. Hopefully it's done okay. I think it's one of those super emotional, like, just fills you full of the feels type of games. And it's nice when I reviewed them, I have music from them, so I can just play it. You are essentially a little unhoused youth. You wake up underneath an overpass, hearing a car horn going off, and you go and you realize the car's on its side. It's been knocked over by one of these gigantic calicorns. They're like a goat buffalo hybrid thing, and you pick up a stick, get a bucket that was stuck off of its head, and off you go. For 3-4 hours, you end up leading a herd of like 9 of them by the end, as long as they don't die, because you got to get them around spiky things and death drops and a whole lot of stuff through some absolutely...
Can they die?
Oh, yeah. And then they turn into a ghost and stay in your pack, but as a ghost. I had no one die, which was really goddamn hard, especially as you can see this one who's chopped up and friggin' fallen off a cliff, and I saved him. Great game on Game Pass, not super long, very emotional, not a word of dialogue. Gameplay is all right. It's really pretty, great music, full of emotions, very easy recommendation, I think, for pretty much anyone who has a heart.
Nice. I played a bit of it at GDC, and
you hated it every last second.
No, I do want to play it. It's another one of those things. Like, it's too many freaking games.
Yep.
Too many games.
Speaking of,
I'm not even reviewing stuff for a living, and there are too many games.
Yep.
So much so that I bought my first part post PC build, more storage, because I just ran out.
Yeah.
2 terabytes just gone.
Welcome to the pain.
Yeah, and the other one I did before leaving, and thankfully had plenty of time on because it was great, but also, it took a while, was good old Shinobi, Art of Vengeance. I ended up giving it a 9. Absolutely loved it. Everything about it is a 10. The combat, the graphics, the music, the total package. Then the platforming's like a 6. And so that yoinked it down from a masterpiece, but outside of that, it is incredibly good. Just some of the best combat in one of these games, mixed with needlessly frustrating platforming, where when it works the way that they want it to, it's fine. But far too often, if you're near a ledge, he'll climb up and then hit something that instantly kills him. And it's not, and instantly sends you back to the beginning, I should say. You don't die, you lose a little health, go back to the beginning. It's just, this shit is so good and stunning to look at, and it feels so good to play. I just wish the mostly optional platforming was good. because then it would be up there, one of the best games ever in the genre. It is awesome in every other way.
I played about 2 hours of it, and I agree with you on the platforming side. Like, I was on the plane on the way, like, I think the way back from Colorado, funnily enough, and I was like trying to do this stupid escape sequence thing, and I get all the way to the end, and it was just every now and then, at some point, I would land, and I'd be like, I want to go this way, and it would just do something.
Because every time you touch a wall, it always bounces you the other direction. You can't just go up or down. Like, it will always jump you the other way, and it sucks. Yeah,
it's kind of frustrating, and I kept kind of like trying it for like half an hour, rage quit. It runs fantastically on the Ally X though.
Yeah, it's one of the best looking things you'll ever see. It is so good looking. The combat is so good. If they can touch up the platforming over time, then yeah, it's an all-timer. It's awesome. Lizard Cube is very, very good at what they do.
Better than Ninja Gaiden, I thought. Ragebound.
Yeah, it's very different. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound's trying to be a modern take on old school arcade games, whereas this is very much a modern-ish, almost a fighting game, with how complex and good the combat feels and stuff. So, yeah, it is absolutely awesome in pretty much every way, except for mostly the optional platforming, but it's so good you want to do everything, so it's not really that optional. Yeah. Shinobi Art of Vengeance is amazing. I made sure to get a copy for Nick, got a copy for John. We all like it to love it. Like, I love it, but I'm also very frustrated by it at times. It's these things, because like these sequences here in the Anku zones or whatever they're called, I forget. I've literally done multiple reviews since playing this game. It always makes it a pain in the ass. If you die, you go all the way back to the beginning, like all the way back, and it can be 2 minutes to get all the way through. So you have to do perfect platforming the whole time. I'm fine with that if it doesn't feel cheap. But sometimes it just feels like I did not mess up, so I'm annoyed.
Yeah. Yeah. The game kind of does its own thing and then pisses you off.
It's just so good looking. It's so fun overall. Yeah, it's an easy recommendation. Just a few caveats about it's not a masterpiece. It's really close to one, though. But these sections here, like where every part of the wall and anything can kill you, you gotta go all the way back. It can get a little frustrating at times. But the game is
Flappy Bird, mate.
The game is extremely good with checkpoints. So whenever you unlock a checkpoint, you can instantly fast travel between them forever. It's just there. So if you want to go clean up a map, super easy to do overall. So another easy recommendation in Shinobi.
I think I said back in May, check notes, that 2025 feels like it's probably going to be one of the best years for video games ever. I feel like I'm right.
Well, it hasn't stopped since 2020. Like halfway through 2022, it started getting good. 2023, just an amazing amount of games overall. 2024, just an amazing amount of games overall. And it just keeps going more and more in 2025, especially for us, as Microsoft is putting out just more and more and more on Xbox and all the different platforms. So,
yeah, I'm like, there's been more this year that I've truly adored, that has truly gone like, wow, that I'm like, than another year like in recent memory. You know, like I've loved this year so far for playing video games, and I look at next year and I'm like giddy with excitement at how much.
And the next 2 months don't stop. Like,
nope,
we'll probably have like, I don't know, 30-40 reviews easy.
Yeah.
And like I went
that sounds like it's probably more than what IGN do. That sounds like a hell of a lot, perhaps.
I can say that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not detail orientated enough. But I did like a quick count. And I think we were like 15 over of IGN's review count for the whole year so far. And obviously they review across everything. We're predominantly Xbox PC, mostly Xbox.
If you are grateful for that level of work, I would suggest signing up to Patreon. Just just a bit of advice.
If we could get the Patreon to grow more, as this guy wants, which John's really bad at pointing at.
I'll do that.
No, I've mirrored on the thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm very tired.
Of things we got to do, even though we have no budget, as I went to LA and I got to see and play Black Ops 7. I can't talk about playing it until Call of Duty next, but because I did not play the campaign, which is the main thing you can talk about. Another game coming out that looks extremely interesting, and I didn't get to play the campaign, but they're back to their super trippy Black Ops, crazy mind effing stuff. Looks real good. Always cool to get to go out and see stuff like that and hang out with people in the business. And then John and I worked on Gears of War Reloaded for one whole day.
Yep, we hammered that game. And you know, in case there's anybody's out there listening wanting to judge.
Oh, you mean the tweet about? Oh, he only played it. I have to play it for 4 hours. He said to do a review.
So I was originally pegged to do that review, right? And we had aspirations, and people have watched headlines have probably heard this story, but we had very grand ambitions to, I packed my entire Xbox Series X, took it with me to Germany. I had my ROG Ally X, and I was like, yeah, I'll play on this. You play on my Xbox. We'll co-op it up. No problem. Sorted. We never got a chance. It was too busy at Gamescom, right? That was a silly idea, and I wasted all of that space in my
I had to repeatedly tell John, once we are done at Gamescom, if we go out to eat, we're not doing any work when we get home.
It's true, and he was right. So we somewhat who got me an extra I have to give a shout out at the weekend, I think, or the US PR team late at night on the Friday came through Xbox PR. It was like, yo, don't worry, here's another code. And boom, we just jumped on. We co-opted it. We got right up to the final act. Jesse was ill. We were both jet lagged and exhausted.
As you can tell by my voice.
Yeah, we were both like, okay, it's Gears of War.
It is literally Gears of War Ultimate Edition with graphical updates. We can
call this.
Like, I was wrong. It's not it's not Unreal Engine 5. It's Unreal Engine 3 with modern effects added in.
With a lot of...
Like, it's just Ultimate Edition, but way better looking. And it runs a lot better on PC now. Like, other than that,
if there was new content to judge or anything like that, like it would be a different story. But no, it's a game that's already been played a lot by every Xbox fan known to man, or near enough. And I think for the sake of understanding what the game offers and how well it performs, that's kind of what the review should be about, because you're not reviewing a 20-year-old game.
And for the guy that continually, for some reason, has a stick up his ass about this and continues to, I'm going to leave it, but then continues to make public tweets, you know, throwing perhaps aspersions around. Mate, I did a video for your Crisis 1, 2, 3 trilogy remaster. I checked your achievements. You barely played fuck all of any of them, so don't give me that shit. Right. Anyway, moving on from the drama.
I also the Rogue Prince of Persia. Rogue Prince of Persia came out while we were in Gamescom. That game is massively improved over its when I first reviewed it. If I gave it a 7 then, it's in the 8s now, like high 8s maybe. It's so good. If Shinobi had that platforming, 10. That game feels so good, in the music, like actual Middle Eastern music. It's so good.
Harping on about how good the music is. I have it installed, but I haven't.
And it's not Play Anywhere, because it's Ubisoft. They have their own launcher. They'll never be Play Anywhere, unfortunately.
It's a shame.
But it's amazing. Rogue Prince of Persia is really good. Really, really good game. Evil Twin, who had done a lot of work on Dead Cells, one of the best games of last generation, just carried it forward here. And actually talked about early access and how it kind of sucks, because people will just always treat it as the game has launched, because I'm paying for it, so I'm treating it like a game launch. The end. So now they're like, you should probably have your game like 90% done if you're going to put it into early access, because that game's awesome. It's in Game Pass right off the bat, which is real cool. But again, it's not Play Anywhere, so you got to choose either Ubisoft Connect on PC or Xbox for your save. because it's one of the few games that doesn't have their cloud save because it's not their first party. I bet.
Yeah. Yep. It's true.
But that's the outside of Gamescom games for me.
Yeah, and it's really up to chat. Like we could spend, but I feel like Deadly would just be like nodding for an hour because we'd just be talking about all this stuff. Like I don't know. Like,
well, I'll put it this way: if we don't talk about Gamescom and everything we did there, the show is going to be 20 minutes long.
Yeah, we'll talk about some things. Let's talk about. I've got a topic. I want to throw out there, and then we'll talk about Gamescoms. How's that? Because I feel like this is a segue from the topic you just.
Are we segueing into news?
I can ask you some questions about Gamescom as well.
Okay.
I think that might be quite helpful too.
We'll chuck them in there. So the topic, and I'm just let's get on the philosophical discussion, topical stuff. Early access. Early access. I feel like a lot of developers nowadays are using early access more and more. And I want to know from you, does it make you less interested in a game?
Immediately, I have zero interest.
It is starting to have that effect on me. The more and more that I see really cool looking stuff. And look, there's two sides to the argument here. As a consumer, I just want to play the cool thing. And early access is occasionally good because it means I get cool thing earlier. But then the bad sides of this is the early access, it's kind of broken, and there's not actually many features here, and I have to wait, and then you're taking a gamble. And yes, look, you can dive in early and you are helping a developer realize a vision, and it might be your dream game. I think there are instances where early access is great and it works and it's wonderful, and we've seen that occur again and again. But it feels like in this industry, in the state that it's in, we're seeing more games than ever launch in this way. And there is another side of me that's like, I don't want to go through and have to wait 6 months for the next update and then 6 months for the next and so on. I want to just play the whole thing from A to B to done. I don't know. What are people's thoughts? How do you guys feel?
I have not touched anything that I've I never touched the Rogue Prince after checking it out. I haven't touched Hades 2, which I thought was amazing at its start, but still isn't going to be on Xbox or PlayStation until sometime next year, probably. Like the moment I see something's in early access, I check out pretty hard now.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. I think I'm largely with you on not necessarily being put off by early access, but it instantly sets an expectation that I'm going to be playing something that is not the finished product. I expect it to be at a lower price point for that reason as well, which usually the early access experiences are. So Schedule 1 is actually a really nice example. I think I picked that up for about 16 quid in the Steam sale. I've already put a fair chunk of time into it and I'm really enjoying it. And I am playing with the... Okay, so I'm quite new to the game, but Jesse, would you know how long Schedule 1's been out, roughly?
Half a year?
That's not that long.
Might be a little longer. March, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's been out since March, so it's still fairly new. The latest update that I've sort of dropped into is a cartel update. So I think when I've unlocked, I'm pretty sure I have to unlock one more customer in order to have the cartel show up. That is apparently quite a game-changing update that I've not experienced yet, but it's obviously more game-changing for the people who have really been along for the ride for the last 6 months. For me, a new player, I guess there's two sides to it. Does it taint the experience that I'm now not going to get versus other players who have got to the point where I have progressed to the point where I have, but weren't given this sort of disruptive element that might change gameplay. The cartel update basically poses the player with a choice where they can either work alongside the cartel sacrifice some of their money, but they're guaranteed protection. But obviously the cartel is always going to win. The other option is you can say, no, I'm not going to side with you, and then violence breaks out, and you've got to play down that route. Those sort of experimental updates are quite nice in a way, but I think depending on at what point you jump into early access, your experience changes. So it's then quite difficult to make a recommendation to someone from March playing Schedule 1 with a load of bugs, features that hadn't been agreed upon or completed. Their experience is going to be different to mine. That's kind of a gamble that the developer takes too, in terms of if they don't land that first impression, but in 6 to 9 months' time they land a different impression with a different user, who are they more likely to retain?
Yeah, it's an odd one for me, because I can see that even in the chat people have different opinions, but people are generally saying 6 months early access, that's a decent time period.
What
2
about
years?
the 12 years that 7 Days to Die had?
Or Baldur's Gate 3? That was in early access for an incredibly
It was
long
like
period of time.
2 or 3 years, I think, and it was just Act 1. That was the only thing that was ever in it.
So, like, it clearly works, but I've seen so many of them, even I've started to be like, okay, another one, And some of them I really want to play, but then I'm like, I can't put in that amount of time yet, Like, especially if it's going to be a game where you're going to get wiped every month, like, fuck that. I don't have time for that.
I've just seen Brit in chat mention Star Citizen. That's a perfect example. I've thought a few times, hey, I've got a PC now, I could check out Star Citizen. Like, it's been in quotes early access for a long time.
Funnily enough, it's still less than 7 Days to Die.
Anymore?
It was it's 8 years for Star Citizen, but it was 12 years for 7 Days to Die.
Wow,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Both are nuts. Both are ridiculous.
Yeah, there's just some
the life cycle of a
ones.
full game. It used to be 2 games back in the day.
It's more than an entire generation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what you could run Star Citizen on at launch, I imagine cannot run it very well anymore.
It's a bit silly. That's a nice. I don't think the audience can see it, but Jesse's got a very nice Borderlands 4 tote bag hanging from his shelf.
Yeah, it's almost like I literally just did a long preview of this game. So please send me a goddamn review code, because I'm in the US, not the UK. 2K, thanks.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I know, like, a game that I've been looking forward to for a year, I think it was, since it's been announced, which is Jump Space, not Jump Ship. The artist formerly known as Jump Ship, Jump Space, which is coming out on September 19th. And it's coming to game preview on Xbox and early access on Steam. Really great. I've played the Steam Next Fest demo. I was in love with it. I thought it was a super cool concept and game. But, like, I look at things like No Rest for the Wicked, and that's been in early access for a lengthy period of time. And I wonder how it's going for Moon. Like, the reality of, did you pick up and sell enough during that early access period? Are you continuing to pick up sales to make it worthwhile? And do you think that the lack of marketing that you'll get when it actually comes time to release, because I think that's the other element of this, is it's a marketing thing, is when 1.0 comes out, a lot of people are like, that's been out for years. And it doesn't see the big bump that you would.
Yeah, that was the Rogue Prince of Persia thing. Is like, they were making very fast, constant updates. And then people were like, oh, there's not that much here. And so they stopped doing that and moved to big, meaty, occasional updates. And every one of those was kind of like a mini launch. But yeah, like, if you're not close, if you're really far away and you desperately need money, it might be okay. But there are so many early access games now. I can't see. Like, even everyone was pooping their pants in excitement over Path of Exile 2. And even that one's just kind of gone. Unless there's a big update, it's not this thing people are going to just keep playing. And it's tough. I'm not... I'm not saying there shouldn't be any early access games. I just have realized I'm at the point, especially with this job and the way I end up consuming games, like Towerborn in the chat. I haven't touched Towerborn in a long time, and I like Towerborn. But I just, when it's 1.0, I'd be a lot more interested. But even then, it's going to be like, well, I've also played it a lot before. So that's the thing.
I think you guys obviously also have quite a unique lens that you're looking at this through too, because you will be exposed to early access content a lot because you are constantly reviewing that content, whereas I think the average player is presented with more of a choice. They can be more selective with the type of projects that they might want to check out the early access with. Grounded 2 is quite an interesting example because obviously Grounded 1 was in early access for a while. Grounded, that sort of means that at some point Grounded 1 had like a fully fledged non-early access release, but the sequel has gone straight back into early access where that game is now being developed, and the three of us plus Jordan Andel played that during the review period for early access, which was really fun. We noticed a lot of bugs, and again, not just insects, obviously. Some of those were ironed out.
Have you played it since?
I actually haven't played it since. How stable is it?
It's
part
fine.
of. Yeah. Okay.
that's kind of what I mean. And I'm not. Again, like I want to make sure that I'm being super clear. I understand why early access as a mechanism for making games exists, and it's great. And there's so many success stories. I get it, but I feel like sometimes I see projects and I'm like, this is not going to work for you in the way that you want it to. Like, I feel like they're trying to replicate that success. And like, I can sense straight away, this isn't going to be, it's not going to go the way you want it to go. Like, and have that sudden like, whoa, I don't know. It's a tough one. There are games I love that have been made using early access, but
yeah, I think it speaks back to that consistent problem across the industry right now, in that there is too much competition for people's time. Like even just the amount of games that we want to play, both on Game Pass and outside of Game Pass, there is so much to choose from. There's so much to pick up and do, that actually when a game presents itself as early access, you ask that question, do I want to play it now, or do I want to play it when it's finished? Because there's so much other stuff to play.
Yeah. Like the original plan for Grounded 2's review was I was going to be playing with two very close friends of mine that have an obscene number of hours in Grounded 1, to the extent that I included some of the footage of their world in Grounded 1 in my Grounded 2 review, because what they built was just so absolutely nuts that anyone that has played Grounded would be like, okay, these guys know Grounded. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But when it actually came time to do it, they were so in love with the whole franchise that they did no, we can't do it, man. We won't do it. We don't want to be rushed. We don't want to rush through the content because it's going to be early access. We want to like experience the story together, and like one of them's in a different time zone, so there was just a point blank refusal. And I don't blame them. It's their time, it's their video game. But I was like, shit. Plan B. Let's call in the rest of the crew. But you know, like I see that sensibility from players, and I'm like, okay, like maybe there are games that can pull this off. But I just see so many of them now. I'm like, oof, another one. I'll talk about you in a year and a half's time, or 2 years' time, or whenever. I don't know. It's interesting to see how it all shakes out. Lots of different opinions in the chat. Special Nick, who isn't here but also says early access should be 3 to 6 months IMO. Any more and you simply risk losing most of your players. Britt, one of our wonderful moderators, says, I didn't mind Astroneer being in early access for however long it was, but I initially played it for like 1 month and then I left it alone entirely, and I've never had time to go back despite the huge improvements. It's like, yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. All right. Yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in there. I thought that was an interesting topic to kind of go over. Chat, let's throw a poll up. Let's understand what they want from us. Do you want us to go in depth with Gamescom? Do you want us to go just like a dip a toe into Gamescom? What do you want us to talk about? And we're talking about the games that we saw, the things that we played,
And everything we did.
and everything we did. Like, how in do you want to go? Let's find out. I don't know. Everything. We did play a lot of games. It's got to be said.
All right, poll is up.
You tell us. We can do a not in depth, and then we'll just dive into the news after we talked about.
John,
some games
I
and
bet you
stuff.
there's almost no chance that in depth loses. Almost
Yeah, you're
no.
right. They want that in depth.
They want the detail.
It's closer than I thought it would be. 60-40. There's only 10 votes though. Like this could swing either way. I think. Okay. The in-depth folks are winning handily. All right, let's go. All the details.
Yep, it's up to 80%. And in the poll, in depth.
In depth. Wait, Jesse, feel free, man. You lead the way. You lead the charge on this bad boy.
I did put up just for patrons a travelogue of like 6.5 minutes or so that I recorded, just going around and in various things, including what I think is a pretty funny ending. That John didn't think I would include. He told me I couldn't afterwards, but I was like, nope, I have to. So that is up now for all patrons. Everyone can watch it, though I will give a little bit of the footage up above. I won't show the fully nude lady that was just hanging out in the square when we were just having lunch, and this completely naked lady just started walking down the road. You know, kids, everyone all around there. Yeah, so this travelogue is up now for patrons who can watch the whole thing. But yeah, we went to Gamescom again in large part thanks to people like Torn Raptor and Kevin S. and all the people who helped donate to get us out there. We went and saw so many games, which you can see a quadrillion previews on both the website and YouTube channel right now. It's kind of crazy. If I bring up the YouTube page, we did have episode 277 of the podcast last week, where it was us live with my gigantic legs in our Airbnb talking over some stuff. If you want to go for that, would be a little longer because that's like an hour 16. That's only Gamescom. But yeah, I saw Borderlands 4. As you can see with this stupid friggin' bag right here, that it hasn't helped me get a review code that many other people have right now on PC only. But hopefully someday I will get to review this game because everything I played was awesome. It is very much the tone of Borderlands 1, more serious, with the occasional humor from Borderlands 2, and they never once ever mention Borderlands 3 when talking about how the vibes of the game are. But it also plays like smooth Doom Eternal. You've got air dashes, you've got a double jump by default, you've got climbing up walls, and just lots of cool movement shit that they haven't had before. You can glide, which I had a hard time getting working all the time on PC because I wasn't sure what button it was. Also, everyone in the comments yelling at me for not pressing F for the Forge Master. Look, F is on both moves. Every time I press F repeatedly, all it did was throw my axes. It did not do the Forge Master ability. I'm very sorry. But Borderlands 4, awesome. Really looking forward to it. Haven't played a second of it for a review, so I can still talk about that. Then the other thing I touched up that I put up just gameplay of was 45 minutes of High on Life 2, which looks just as good as the trailer did texture-wise, but obviously does not have that incredibly smooth animation that for some reason John seemed to think that we thought it would, but I did not. But still funny. If you are into that type of humor, there's a really funny demo that was like a bespoke made one just for us at Gamescom. Literally at one point they joked, wouldn't it be stupid if we recorded a voice line for every single date and time and then it just said the actual local date and time as I was playing it. Like it's that level of insane, over the top. But the big change is you get a skateboard. So instead of running, every time you hit shift, you pull out a skateboard and you skate around, and you can grind on rails and do all this crazy shit. Like, there I go. It's more high on life, but it's way faster. And I think overall it felt a lot better.
I liked the first one. I actually need to finish it, but yeah, I thought it was quite fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it was, at one point I'm fighting Muppy Doo, evil senator who wants to turn all the humans into drugs and get high on their life. And then at one point he just breaks into your, he shrinks down and runs into your suit. And so you got to fight him in the UI. So you pause the game and then you're going in there and you're trying to stop him in the UI. He's running around. I'm accidentally punching all these other people, all my guns. It's really silly and weird, and eventually you have to completely reset your suit. You're going through the whole basic friggin' blue screen BIOS setup, and it gets completely reset, and then you're playing Bible Adventures. So you're just running around in this unbelievably old PC game, but eventually he comes back. It's a hell of a thing. Go watch it's 45 minutes if you want to. It's a very weird, condensed version of the first few levels of the game. So you're not seeing everything. Like, it skips some boss fights and stuff like that. But yeah, High on Life is awesome.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I think the media, the general media, was so unfair to that game. Like, you could tell that, like, the humor is going to be divisive, but they ignored the fact that even if you didn't like the funny parts, there was a very competently made, fun Metroidvania first-person shooter.
They gave me this goddamn Bounty Juice energy drink powder that smells like bananas, and it got me constantly checked out at airline security, both in Germany and in Boston. It got me pulled aside both times. God damn it! And they lied. They said there was supposed to be a code under the cap, but there is not for the first game. There is a code for the first game on this little skateboard, but I gave it to my daughter's friend.
Fair.
That's really cool.
Yeah, see, there's nothing there. They lied. Gamers.
Is it under that piece of paper?
I mean, it's just straight up glued on.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is.
See, there you go.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. All right. John and I already own this. Everyone, Steam.
Right.
This is a Steam code.
Pause it. No, Nick's watching.
Nick, if you take this, I will kill you because I give you everything anyways, and you probably already own this game. Steam only code. Brian Life. I don't know.
With DLC.
Somebody gets it.
Very nice.
Someone will get that. Let us know if you got it in the chat. And while you're in the chat, hit that thumbs up button because, you know, the algorithm demands that you do that. And we would appreciate it.
I have too much shit over there, man.
Yeah. What else? Jess?
Here, just in case. All right. Put all my little friggin' trinkets back. Boop, 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 boop. We both saw Replaced. You did the full preview on it. We both played it. Finally, we didn't play the same preview. I played a completely different thing at Gamescom itself. One of the best looking things ever made. For its styling.
I've heard a lot of positive noise about this.
Is it
like a cyberpunk?
It is a very deliberate 2.5D side scroller where the vast majority of the game is 2D. Every once in a while, you can go into the background and like some stairs or a ladder or something. You're going left to right or right to left. Very light. Upgrade mechanics. Not really an RPG. It is an action game with the Arkham style combat where if you see white, press Y to parry, and if you see red, press blue to press B to dodge because you're going to get shot to death otherwise. In the demo I had a pistol way earlier than I'm supposed to, and that pistol just you build up by hitting things, and then it gets the most unbelievably stylish assassinations once it's full. It's context sensitive on the movement, so depending on where you are, he's going to walk, or he's going to run, or he's going to hide. And it always looks amazing. The base premise for the game is you are an AI whose creator has essentially died and you've taken over his body. So you're in this weird, is it like the 80s? 80s dystopian past future. The world kind of went to shit in like the 50s, 60s, and people hate AI, and so you don't want them to know what you are. And you're in Phoenix City, which I'm going to guess is Southwest America, because of Phoenix, Arizona. It just looks so good. It plays well. It's very deliberate. Like your jump is you work into your jump, and when you're punching, you got to time things correctly. It's kind of like the a different world in the original Prince of Persia and those kind of super rotoscope games where it's deliberate.
It definitely channels a lot of flashback. Prince of Persia, Another World over here in the UK is what it was called, or
it might have been Another World here. I don't remember.
But yeah, like I think, and it's funny, like the original, there were two versions of this preview video, and the original one had no B-roll whatsoever. Because yeah, obviously I assumed whatever preview you played was the same one that the developer said, yeah, here you go. And it was
no,
not.
the B-roll.
It was not
the B-roll wasn't my preview either. My preview was a very different thing where I was playing and I was being chased by guys with like a giant on the rail car, and they're chasing me.
Oh, maybe I have.
Yeah, no, I think it was new for this Gamescom.
Some of the bits that I've seen in this B-roll, but
none of this B-roll footage is from what I played. Not a single second.
Mad.
Yep.
Mad. But yeah, the original video I made, I pinged to the dev and I was like, look, I could use, the B-roll, but like I've got really good like natively captured full bitrate 4090, and it's captured in ultra wide, right? Because the game is presented permanently in a 21:9 ratio. Now that's going to rub some people the wrong way, but as an ultra wide owner, I'm like, yes.
And it's only ever 2D.
Yeah. And yeah, like they came back and went like, could you, change that ratio up maybe like 70% preview footage, 30% B-roll? And I was like, okay. And I did. And yeah, like of everything coming next year, and there's a lot coming next year that I am like hype as fuck about. Having actually played this in my hands, I know I can feel it in my bones. This would be something that I'd unplug the phone, like I'd switch everything off. Leave me, children. Fend for yourselves.
The one time you say "leave me alone, children."
Yeah, I do love my kids. So. How dare I? But yeah, it's a phenomenal. Everything oozes effort is the best way I can put this. This is a development team that are just perfectionists, I think, in every sense of the word. And like even the few criticisms I had, I already chatted to the dev and they're like, yeah, don't worry, we know that's already in the full game. We're doing this.
And people, I talked to them about how long they've been on it, and it was a very small team for the first few years. And they really built up like over the last 4 or 5. So and all the people are like, wow, it's taken forever. It's like, well, it was a very small passion project before then, and it's now grown into an actual like 20 to 30 person at a time team to build this game. So the actual dev time on it's pretty normal overall for being a full production, and it really shows. It's exceedingly pretty.
So I'm looking at the chat. Someone used the code, and Nick has stopped typing. I think we need to be concerned.
I think we're all drawing the same conclusions. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
This game looks stunning.
It is.
Art style looks gorgeous,
and it runs flawlessly on a handheld. Like not a dropped frame in sight.
Nice.
And this is an early preview. So.
And I guess I do have one more I could talk about. At least, I mean, actually, I've got multiple more. Jesus Christ. I played Routine, which I think most people, that is a game that has been like 12 or 13 years in development. It's real. I played it. It was good. It's a horror game with some very cool analog future past space shit. Looked real nice. I played it. It's actually coming out. It is a Game Pass game. God, yeah, I can't remember when was Routine the video game announced? Hard to find out sometimes. 2012. 13 years ago. and it'll be 14 years, and it'll be out next year, I believe. Day one in Game Pass.
Wow.
I played it. It was cool as shit. I really liked it. I don't have any footage to show or anything. But what I do have a little footage that I can show, because my God, did I play a lot. Where is it? I need to get to the Gamescom folder to talk about Invincible Versus, where my footage isn't going to be great, because it was mostly him teaching me. So it's just
pretend that you're the guy.
I'm jumping, I'm going to jump into when we were fighting each other at the very end. Invincible Versus, if you played Marvel vs. Capcom or Killer Instinct, you're going to love it. The end. It's awesome. It plays so well. It is surprisingly deep, despite being far more approachable than Killer Instinct is by default. They've got the auto combos. They've got the you do the move with just press an A. Or they're going to be adding in the quarter circles and all the, these Street Fighter-y style things for the hardcore pro players to really focus on. Looks great. We were playing on a freaking 40, it was a 4080 having laptop, so it's more like a, the equivalent of a desktop 4070 at the most. But still pretty good, really pretty. Gonna have more than 15 characters at launch is how they put it. Plays super well, is a full-on Marvel vs. Capcom style tag game, unlike Tokon, which really isn't tag as much. This is a tag fighter. If you want to do parries and stop people, you need one of your tag partners alive. You hit Y and B, they come out and they do their little blap, and they'll parry for you. If they're dead, obviously they can't do that. There's just everything you would expect out of a competent fighter, but way faster and better feeling than like the Mortal Kombat games, without feeling too fast. Like they found a really good balance. Also extremely gory. If you hit someone with a big move to kill them, whether it's an ultimate or a finisher or what, they'll just completely explode and lose their arms and their head and everything. Boy, it's very fun. I'm not a big fighting game guy, but I did well enough where the guy said, "Oh, you play fighting games a lot, huh?" And I said, because I hadn't actually really played one since I reviewed King of Fighters 15 3 or 4 years ago. But this one just feels so good that right off the bat, just got it, and it was awesome. And then
Looks cool. Looks really cool. I'm not actually familiar with the IP. It's on Prime, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's was a Robert Kirkman comic. It's on Amazon Prime. I always have access to watching it early. I have access to Gen V season 2. I gotta watch that. I get access to everything. I can't wait to get friggin' Fallout season 2. But
So I recently got into The Boys. I hadn't watched it before, and I binged quite a bit, like before and while on holiday. I think I'm halfway through season 4 of The Boys, and also halfway through season 1 of Gen V.
Yeah, Gen V is very good. I liked it. I haven't watched the second of season 2 yet, even though I have access to it.
I think it's a really cool show. I would actually love to see a game based in that universe. That would be really fun, because there isn't one at the moment, is there?
I think they've announced one, but there isn't anything out, if memory serves.
That's what it is.
But yeah, Invincible's a really cool IP. I've read all the comics. I haven't actually watched any of the cartoon because we're so far behind on every show. But yeah, Invincible is super gory, like just incredibly gory, and that keeps up with it.
I went into Invincible completely blind as a show, and I was watching it. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, bear in mind, I did not grow up on like the X-Men 97 cartoon or anything. I didn't get. It passed me by, all right. And I barely give a shit about most superhero stuff. So I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, this feels like Spider-Man.
Then you got to the end of episode 1.
And then I got to the end of episode 1, and I'm like, oh my god, it was horrific. I was just like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I understand. Now I understand why people are watching this. Okay. And then I binged, I think, both first seasons. I haven't continued to watch it though, so I should probably catch up at some point. But that's the same with The Boys. Like I ran out of steam, and I haven't watched season 4 at all. And I liked season 3, and I'm just like, oh.
Well, plus Prime makes you watch commercials now, even if you pay full.
Yes.
You got to pay extra full.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks great.
But then the big thing I previewed that nobody watched was The Outer Worlds 2. I played it at Gamescom, and then they gave us access at home to capture all this footage and everything. If you see first person, it's Xbox. Third person is PC. It's everything I want out of a sequel. It's just The Outer Worlds, but everything's better. It looks better. It plays better. It sounds better. It feels better. It is bigger and better. It is that, Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2. Like, it's that they've got all their ideas and they've got their premise and their and now they have way more support than they ever had before. Like, they were finishing up the Outer Worlds when they got bought, but now they're fully integrated, obviously firing on all cylinders, even though one guy was like, when's the last time Obsidian had a hit? I'm like, what? Your crack are you smoking?
Yeah.
Grounded 2, like last month. Like, what do you want?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this guy.
It's crazy. It's nuts how much work that studio is putting out.
Yep.
It's absolutely insane. It's really impressive.
I think it's very much that they have some very good people in charge of how broad their scope goes and in control and a really firm handle on what are we making. And they know that from the off before they get started. And they keep a very tight leash on it. And I think as time goes on, that the Obsidian team are proving to be one of the crown jewels of Microsoft's kind of acquisition spree. Like, that team is just on fucking fire. So good.
Yeah, really strong. I really liked Avowed, another game that I need to finish. I have finished The Outer Worlds 1. I really enjoyed that. I've not watched a lot of the coverage around Outer Worlds 2, largely because I enjoyed the first one. I'm happy to go in relatively blind.
This preview is just the prologue, so it's just the very beginning, just kind of setting the story up. Like, I know some people are like, oh, these choices don't seem like they matter much. It's like, well, yeah, of course, because you're not actually at the starting point yet. You can't branch before the starting point, or else you have to have like 10 starting points. Nobody wants that. But yeah, it looks fantastic because obviously their continued improved mastery around Unreal Engine, especially like just Xbox in general with Unreal, looks great. Like, this is all Xbox footage running in balanced mode, which still felt like 60. So it was really good looking, felt great to play, like very good shooting. Obviously they've got some of the movement and combat stuff from Avowed, but it's more of a shooter, so it's much more focused on that. But then it's very skill check focused. It is more of an RPG, whereas Avowed was kind of like that action RPG. This is an RPG with action. There's a little more of a focus, I think, on skill checks and things like that. In keeping with the first game, I was extremely impressed and cannot wait. Hopefully we make the list on that one, because god damn it, I'm having a hard time with that sometimes lately, and it makes me sad.
Yeah, it is.
Where's
it is
Borderlands?
Frustrating sometimes that we still have that challenge from PR and stuff. Like, so many good relationships, but also like, come on, help us.
Give me
Doing our best
Borderlands.
here. Yeah, was that you got one more you can talk about, right?
Oh yeah, the maybe my favorite one, which is saying a lot because I didn't play a bad game, was There Are No Ghosts at the Grand, which
this looks so good.
Felt really bad skipping line, because that was how the appointments were done. Instead of being in the business area, these 10 new graduates who have been working on the game for only a year and a half were given 2 booth spots at the Xbox booth in Gamescom. After bringing up ID at Xbox on a whim and getting funding and a Game Pass deal and 2 booth spots and in the June showcase and all this help, this is the first thing they've ever done. That's 10 guys making their first thing, as far as I know. Maybe some have made things before. But the main guy who I talked to was first thing, been in a year and a half, expecting about another year. So late 2026. It's speaks to me in a way few games can. As somebody who has reviewed Power Wash Simulator and House Flipper and Spray Paint Simulator, and so much of this game is cleaning and setting up this friggin' hotel while doing this full-on story game with shooting, where you're shooting sand at stuff to damage it, and then people are just randomly singing. And I was told that's part of the mystery of what's going on. And there were ghosts, just not at the Grand. And I shot chairs and shit at them because I had this gun, this friggin' Scottish gun that talks to me that this old guy gives you, that can just generate shit out of nothing and is sentient. It is a full-on AI Scottish paintbrush. But yeah, so you will sandblast walls and then repaint them, but it's not like you have to be super accurate. You just get most of it covered and you're good. You want to put something down, it tells you where to go. It kind of snaps in. Oh, you got to pick up these books. You suck them in with a vacuum, and then you just hold the button and they all go where they're supposed to. Like it's scratching that itch of the cleaning and simulating stuff, then mixing into this type of weird mystery occult shit. As your American character is in this weird little British island. Not liked very much by the locals, and maybe there's a reason for that. I don't know. But yeah, coming to Game Pass late next year. What I got to play was a healthy 20... That was like a 15-20 minute demo, which is pretty long for Gamescom. There's a cat who talks occasionally and just says, hey, what's up? There's hot ladies singing with their midriffs out. I drove a boat, this boat right here. There's dancing cops. I beat the shit out of those spider guys. I saw those Cthulhu tentacles. Like, it's a weird, amazing thing. And I really hope they nail it, because the premise and everything about it is so goddamn good. And the name is so weird that I love it. And I hope it's good. And I really like what I got to play.
Really cool.
This is why I love video games. Just seeing stuff like that, I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
And why do I want to play it?
Yeah, it's just a group of guys who are recently out of school and they have an engine like Unreal that they can use. And it just works. And it's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yep.
It's so cool. This stood out to me a lot in the showcase, actually. Just I remember, because it starts off basically just looking like Power Wash Simulator and House Flipper. And then it brings in all the weird and creepy shit and actually goes, hey, there's an interesting narrative that we're going to set up, and we're going to leave you with a hell of a lot more questions than you had in the opening frames, and then just leave it at that. And yeah, I think it looks really great. I can't wait to see
Played well. It did have a little bit of that aim acceleration issue where, like, it takes a second to go and then it goes too fast.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully they're able to touch that up. But yeah, like, obviously it's just a demo. There were no settings I could go in and change. But yeah, I was thoroughly impressed. I also I talked to one of the devs at Ilphonic around the Halloween game. No footage, no, didn't see it or anything, but I do like the fact that, well, they're working with gun games, which immediately pissed off a lot of people after what Gun has pulled with some of their previous releases, like Friday the 13th. But they're working with gun games. There's a single player element, and then those single player things come into the async or the, not properly matched multiplayer where one person's Michael Myers and is unbelievably overpowered, but then all the other people aren't trying to stop Michael. They're trying to save as many people in the town as they can and get the cops to show up. So it's not that you stab me a bunch and I run away and I try and find a few things that can knock you out, like asynchronous multiplayer style, asymmetrical multiplayer that so many of those games are. Having more of those things sounds cool, but they had nothing to show except for a trailer, so I'll have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, one to watch. Watch. Yeah, I think that's everything you played. I will talk through everything that I saw and or played.
I got a lot of videos up here ready to go.
Yeah, it's funny. Are we doing it in the order that's on the screen?
Yeah, so we should probably start with actually fucking talking about the goddamn Xbox Ally. We never did it on Thursday. No,
we're gonna end. We're gonna end on the
You
Ally.
better actually end, because I got
end on the Ally.
Angry people at me because I kept trying to get you to do it, and then you just ignored it at the end.
Whatever that is.
Yes,
Dob.
Just do it in the order of released videos.
So, lifelong goal achieved. I got to sit down with a few members of the Double Fine team, including the legendary Tim Schafer, and chat about their newest game, Keeper, which is actually the brainchild of one of their other developers who worked on Stacking and Rad and things of that nature. As Tim Schafer puts it, hopefully it's the best game you'll ever play that has it's the best walking lighthouse game you'll ever play, and prettiest and funniest. And I'm like, yeah, okay. You play as a lighthouse that has made friends with a bird called Twig. You literally have fed up of sitting still. You have a vision to get to the top of the mountain of this big little island that you're on. And so you rock yourself off of your building foundations, pull some root legs together and go wandering off with Twig, and you can direct your light, and you're going to use that light to solve puzzles. But they walked through 3 different sections of the game: general puzzle solving, interacting with creatures. There's no humanity there. The game was originally conceived during COVID, so there's a lot of nature and surrealism in it. There was some time manipulation where we came in and accidentally knocked down a building, and then we used some time manipulation mechanics to reverse that destruction and clear the path so we could make it to the next area. And there was a whole section full of candy floss clouds, and they would stick to us, and then we could bounce and do different platforming challenges. I think it's 6 to 8 hours. So, every time a developer says that, doesn't matter who, I'm 5 to 6 hours in my head for a game worth its salt, I think. But it's Double Fine, man. It's quirky, it's weird, it's bizarre. The audioscape is gorgeous. The graphic fidelity is brilliant. I'm going to play the shit out of this, and I'm really looking forward to it. This was not a hands-on, so I haven't actually been able to play it. We just got some video and some sections, but it's coming out October 17th, so we haven't got long to wait this year. So
when they've got 3 first-party releases in 1.5 weeks.
It is lovely. And Tim Schafer is a very funny, very down-to-earth, very nice guy who, the first time I met him, I was so it's probably one of 4 people that I would genuinely fangirl over a little bit. I was like, I have to introduce myself to you and interrupt you, because if I didn't, I'd probably kill myself. And he was like, well, don't kill yourself. Yeah, I regret saying that, because obviously I wouldn't kill my... Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things you think in your head, and then when you realize you've said it out loud, you feel like a complete
sort of dug yourself into a hole that you didn't think you'd have to pull yourself out of.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was awesome.
And then we bumped into him getting ice cream.
We did bump into him getting ice cream. It was good fun. Keeper, October 17th. It's really fucking cool.
Your missus did
you go on.
I was gonna introduce the next one, so you go.
I was going to ask if you guys played Lego Voyagers.
That was the next one.
It's like
that was the next one. Wow, that's crazy.
We did play
Very
Lego
cool.
Voyagers.
Nice. Awesome.
And interestingly, I persuaded Kat, because I was looking at my list of horrific amounts of writing and video editing that I had to do, and I was like, do you want to write up Lego Voyagers? And she was like, me? I was like, yeah, you played it. Take a stab. You can write. You have thoughts. You have opinions. And she was like, okay. So she sat down for an hour or two and put together an article. And I got her to sit here and narrate
tumble your
her
way
own
around. Sometimes
work, and I edited the video for it. But yeah, Lego Voyagers, a pseudo sequel to Builder's Journey, which is the hyper-realistic diorama isometric style Lego game from 2022, I want to say, maybe 2023.
That was like a PC tech demo thing more than anything else, wasn't it? Was it?
No, it's a full-on narratively driven, without spoken word puzzle game that is out on Xbox. You can play it. It's really good.
I didn't know that. Cool. Okay, cool. I'll look for it.
It is a lovely game.
Nice.
This one takes us from that single-player mechanic to a co-op mechanic where you are playing as 2 blue and red cubes, and you can attach yourself to stuff. You can attach yourself to each other, and through that and the magic of Lego, you're doing Lego things like building bridges to make your way across stuff, building catapults and launching each other, relying on physics themselves. So you'll build like a pole, and then you'll both have to like be pressing in the same direction to manipulate it. And if one of you doesn't, it will kind of like rock the boat a little bit and it won't work. It's charming. It is gorgeous. Like their engine is like the PBR material work that they've done to make it look like Lego is so fucking good. This is out in like 2.5 weeks. So I will be doing a review. Whether Kat will do the full review, I'll leave up to her if she feels confident enough to do it. I think she could pull it off. But yeah, it is absolutely lovely. Any Lego fan that enjoys a good puzzle game or any puzzle game fan will enjoy this. And I think the thing that I love the most is we chatted to the developers for a fair bit, and they talked about how there was a lot of iteration and experimentation as they were developing, because the focus throughout was on fun and the joy of play, of the building of Lego, the ethos of Lego, right? Of just creating stuff. And you can see all of these physics experimentations in the game. They're just there. They don't do anything apart from for you to be like, oh, I'm just going to bounce on this because it bounces. So I'm just going to swing on this because it swings. And it's great. A side note, we did play Lego Batman, the Legacy of the Arkham, whatever it's called, or Legacy of the Dark Knight. I think nutshell, Jesse, Batman Arkham with Lego.
1,000,000%. Yep. It is a brand new open world Lego Arkham game, essentially. I do have some off-screen footage of Predrag playing it. Very pretty. Very obviously, it's a little demo, but it 100% plays like baby's first Arkham without feeling dumb. Like it still just feels like an Arkham game, but instead of being incredibly violent like those games, it's very silly. And so you're hitting people with pies and stuff, and but it's really good. But it is sneakily them making a new Arkham game, and it was really cool. Very excited for that one.
Yeah, it is good. Jesse, when you say next up in the list, are you going by YouTube or are you going by your list in the show run? Oh, okay, right. Right, hang on a sec then. I haven't got that in front of me.
This next one's going to be rather toxic of you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando.
Which I thought was an old movie, but it's not.
No, it's just it's a brainchild of John Carpenter. Elevator pitch for the video game fans out there. Left 4 Dead, bigger, more modern, and great. This is a 4-player cooperative horde shooter set in very large open world maps, of which there are 9 if you include the tutorial level. They're so big that vehicles are a thing. So, you're going to want them to get around and complete objectives. You go out on these different missions. There are special zombie creatures out there that emulate some stuff from Left 4 Dead. Like I was playing 4-player with a developer and 2 other journalists, and one of those, I can't remember what they were called in Left 4 Dead, where they grab you and they take you out of the fight and run you to a wall and just start wailing on you. Snatcher, something like that. And I was just like, oh shit, like help. And people are running over, and there's powers and grenades and guns and loot to find, resources so you can unlock more stuff. You can customize your character. You can go with different build types. It is a really solid game. I think, and don't quote me on it, that the price kind of got either announced or leaked, that it's only going to be a $40 or a $50 title, which is a very smart idea from Focus Entertainment and the developers Saber, because there's been a few of these types of games, and if you're going to ask for 70, you better be like working a miracle. But in terms of like how much fun it is, and is this something I'd blow 30 quid on to jump in with my mates at a weekend? Absolutely, yes, I would. This is a good laugh, full of good old gory loot and shooting times, and it runs on the Swarm engine. So the chaos that you might remember from Space Marine 2 with the number of enemies on screen, expect that to be replicated to an insane degree, because holy shit, there are a lot of zombies to murder. It's great.
I feel like this could actually do really well on Game Pass. I think it would
Yeah.
be quite a good ad for Game Pass, because I think with you're right in the multiplayer titles launching at like 40 quid, 50 quid are so much more approachable than
Yes.
the 70 ones. Like, do you remember when Battlefield 2042 launched multiplayer only at 70 quid, and like the entire community just went, nah. Just sorry, but
yeah, and the game
that's
wasn't
too
that
much
great
money for
either.
not enough content. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks cool.
It is very good.
It was a comic book. Got it.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
There's the source of the IP.
Thank you, Joser.
But yeah, it's a really great game. And in the chat, Metal Oxide, not to be confused with Toxic Avenger. Yeah, I have to admit, when I saw this on the sheet, I was like, oh, this is what I'm playing. Toxic, is that that Peter Dinklage movie? Like, what? Wait, what? And then it was, it's nothing to do with that at all. It's fun though. I really, really enjoyed playing it. It was a good hour of gameplay I got to have. This isn't my footage. Mine would have been much funnier. But it was really fun. And I think this is coming in 2026. So yeah, just keep an eye on it. It looks like there'll be a good time to be had here. As to whether it will launch on Game Pass or whether they're even considering such a thing, Back 4 Blood did, and I think it did okay. But also, I think Back 4 Blood is also is finished now. Like, it's not really spoken about anymore.
Yeah, it's done. They did a bunch of DLC. I reviewed almost all of it, and those reviews did shockingly well.
Yeah, like, these games are popular, so like I expect this to do pretty well, and Game Pass will only help get the word out, right? Maybe those conversations will be happening. Microsoft's curation team are usually pretty good at this. I mean, look at this Last Stand. It is absolutely chaos. It was frantic and so much fun.
Chaos.
I feel like Call of Duty zombie fans would enjoy this a lot.
Yeah, it is really good. Like, I really like it.
Looks really cool.
Yeah, that's Toxic Commando. I'm just looking at the YouTube list now, trying to anyway.
Last Caretaker.
The Last Caretaker. Yeah, this is probably one of the most interesting things I played. It is a PC only for now, but it is planning for consoles later. This is another early access game coming at some point in 2025. And oh no, it's another survival game. And you might be rolling your eyes back of your head at this point. You played enough of these. This is the world is doing so much, as well as the concept itself, to kind of pique my interest here. So the polar ice caps have melted. Humanity has fled to the stars, but babies born in space face all sorts of extra dangers. So they invented robots to nurture human seed and get it ready for life before it's launched into space, right? So that's the concept. You're a robot, and you have got to take care of the humans that are left, launch them into space to join the colony up there. The cool part is unlike hunger, thirst, all of that, you have energy and vitality, but you are a robot, so you don't have to manage that stuff. So you can plug yourself into a battery, or if you need to power a weapon, you plug the weapon into you, and then you've got to manage like your energy reserves, and that's your ammo effectively. It's set in this gorgeous open world ocean. You have this massive like barge that you can sail out into this world. And it's a story-driven single-player survival game. And it's beautiful. Like, this is all my gameplay. I got to sit down and play this, I don't know, for maybe 30 minutes, something like that. And they took me through 3 different sections of kind of like learning the mechanics of the wires and the robot, sailing the ship, and then some combat stuff.
That is some nice looking water.
Yeah, like it is.
Really
the cool thing as well is when you're on the boat, like Sea of Thieves mimics some rocking, but this was like violent. Like, it was really physics based. And like I was out in the ocean, and it was like, whoa, I was starting to get a little bit motion sick just like playing. Look, you can see it here. The boat is
really good.
Is moving. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful game. So they skipped me ahead a little bit and gave me a gun, and I was like, okay, like where's the ammo for this? And I'm like, look down at my chest, and the gun's plugged into me, and I'm like, what? And there's these kind of life forms that have risen, and like these are questions I don't have answers to. Like, did these come after we started venturing out into space? Like, what's up there? Like, what's going to happen? But this is the brainchild of the developer behind Trials HD from back in the Xbox 360 days, and it's like, this is not what I was expecting. But it is a beautiful game.
You kept asking me like, so it's gonna be like Trials. Well, I don't want to. What's gonna be new about that? I was like, because I had seen this game get its debut trailer with a co-stream with Ursula, so I knew it was like this. I was like, nope, nothing like Trials. Hey, that's a cat.
Yeah. But it is. I'm intrigued. The only thing I wish, and I did say this to the devs, is like no multiplayer at all. Because whenever anyone asks me to play anything like this, like a survival game, I'm like, the grind is always more fun with friends. Like, but it depends what their plan is for that kind of world. Because you see games like Stardew Valley where you're building a farm and you're building manufacturing, and they're enormously successful single player ventures. So could this, do it in that way? Yeah, probably. But yeah, like you've done your job. You're launching your human seed into space. Super cool. And weird physics thing. Most people in games show a rocket and it goes up, but the reality is actually it will curve because it's leaving the atmosphere at an angle, and they actually did the physics thing properly here, which delighted me. I don't know.
Nerds.
It's really cool. And I wish them the best of luck. I think this is definitely something that is going to excite a lot of people that love these sorts of games. It's beautiful as well. My God, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah,
that's really cool. That's really cool. Clever.
It's really cool.
Nice.
I hope everyone's enjoying this deep dive into everything.
There's a few more
we
things.
Played.
Yeah.
And Metal Oxide, I swear there was a film with a similar premise to this. Weirdly, the character that you've seen on the thumbnail and stuff for The Last Caretaker looks a lot like Wild Robot. Blue eyes, Roz from Wild Robot, the movie, if you've never seen that. But yeah, there you go. What am I talking about next?
Well, there's we had the new guy did a preview for Davy Jones, Davy X
I did
Jones.
play that.
Yeah.
Yes. New to the team, and a warm welcome to him, and please extend him every courtesy. Steve Scripted Allen joins us to help cover the platform and to talk about cool video games. I got to play Davy. I don't know whether to call this Davy X Jones or just Davy Jones at this point. Is it Davy and Jones?
Because Drag X Drive is drag and drive, according to Nintendo. So it can be whatever you want. Just call it Davy Jones.
Nutshell, think a absolutely batshit insane, surprisingly pretty, Doom Eternal like game where you play as a beheaded Davy Jones. So you're just the body and your skull of you is floating around collecting energy for you, and also kind of acts as a secondary weapon. It is nuts. It feels like it's trying to emulate a lot of like that fast shooter mechanics of Doom Eternal, but with an art style that is just absolutely insane from a relatively small team as well. I believe this is all Unreal Engine 5.5, I should say. It's quirky. The voice acting is excellent. The story is interesting. I think the nutshell is you try to take on Blackbeard. Your crew betrays you. Blackbeard beheads you. And now you're out for revenge in this fantasy pirate world. And while I think they're planning on launching with like 2 of the 7 crew that have betrayed you, and then Blackbeard's the final kind of guy you've got to take out, they're going to be building that journey with the community. So again, this is another early access game. Interestingly, and I will say this publicly because people might want to jump on this if they look at the gameplay and they're like, I want to check this out. It's on Steam only for now. For the first 6 days, 6 hours and 6 minutes of that early access release, it is only $6.66, because that is the devil of Blackbeard that they are fooling around with, and they're just having some fun marketing stuff. I think after that it goes up to like a tenner. So if you want to get in early and check this out, please do. It's available now on Steam. I think it's out in early access as of the 28th. But Steve, our new member of the Xbox Era video and writing team, he jumped straight in on this and put together a preview for you guys to look at. He's another Australian, so
Very light accent though, not like
don't
Nick.
hold it against him. Yeah,
They're not talking like hello. I'm Nick Baker from Australia. That's not a knife.
But yeah, it was super cool, and he's a super cool dude. He's going to be making himself like more integrated and chatting to the community a bit. We like him a lot. I hope you guys do too. But the important thing is he's an Xbox player. Wants to see that platform covered fairly, and yeah, so do we. So cool. Yeah. Davy X or Davy Jones, whichever one you prefer, Davy X Jones. It's available now. You can go check it out. I then also played...
We got a very quick super chat from RRD, who says, "Keep up the great work, boys." Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a lot of content this week. I feel like a preview machine at this point. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I've got one more in me next week, and then we'll see.
But you've got two more to talk about right now, starting with The Expanse, Osiris Reborn.
I just want everyone to just enjoy this gameplay footage of The Expanse, Osiris Reborn, that is going to be playing right now. Because if you are a lapsed Mass Effect fan and you're thinking, God, gee, I wish I had more Mass Effects in my life, and you are The Expanse fan, and you're like, God, I'm sad that series isn't being made anymore. And God, that was good. This looks to answer both of those things. Probably of all the demos I saw, and bear in mind, this is early. Didn't get hands-on. Got an hour-long walkthrough with the development team. Early combat, early AI. But holy shit. Set within the first 2 seasons or 2.5 seasons, first 2 books of the series. You play as a character that you can create, male or female, Belter, Earther, or Martian. So that will affect like the different conversations options you have and how you get treated and blah, 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 blah. And as soon as you create a generated twin is made who looks like you but has different personality, different hairstyle, etc., has different scars. And they join you as one of your companions, certainly in the early game, called Jay. And the general demo that they showed was we've just escaped Eros and the genocide. We've stolen a protogen ship, and we've come back to our space station called Pinkwater. We're a security mercenary there. We head to the XO. We tell him, shit, this fucking crazy shit went down. And then, oh no, Protogen turn up. They want their ship back and they're going to invade the station. And straight away, we're given the choice. Like, do we want to make the station's commander call everyone to arms? Or do we want to make them kind of chill out and sit back? And we'll just try and escape ourselves. And I did the latter because I wanted to force the developers to have a harder time, because I presumed there'd be more enemies and more combat. And yeah, the general demo was just astoundingly good. There was some wonkiness. The AI was clearly unfinished. There was incidents of soldiers perhaps not animating in the best way and stuff like that. But everything else just oozed production value. I'm talking like you could shoot the hull internally on the ship and bits of it would flake off and fall to the ground. You could equip armor-piercing bullets and fire through light cover, and it would shred apart. And if you were in 0G, it would just spray like in Gravity, the movie. And there was a whole combat sequence where we're trying to get back to the ship, and we end up on the outside of the space station. You step out, Jupiter is there, and the rotation is fucking wild. And I was like, this is going to make people motion sick. And they're like, yeah, we're working on a lot of camera trickery to ease that off. But the combat scenarios, because obviously you've got your mag boots, like I'm fighting on the side and there are people behind cover from my current perspective, but I can walk up the wall and now I've got oversight on them because there is no floor in space. And it was just super impressive. And I loved it. And I want to play more. And I tried to get a release day out of these guys. Nada. I tried to ask if the ship was flyable. Sadly, no, but with some interactivity in space battles. Wonder what that means. And I asked if it was, we're just going to be on space stations. And they were like, no, there are more expansive environments. And they did tease, I think, something vehicular, but they wouldn't go into detail as to what. So this is Owlcat Games. They've clearly got plans, and they have clearly elevated their goals here, because this is absolutely stunning. And if you're an Expanse fan, look at it. Wow. Anyway, and it's made me start rewatching
cool.
The Expanse, because my missus has never seen it, and she was like, what is this? I was like, okay.
Just get through season 1, and then you're gonna love it.
Yeah. Season 1's a little slow. I've said to her, she was like, okay.
I also haven't seen that. Is that Prime as well?
It was.
So if you want to go on
Wasn't
that.
it sci-fi and saved by Prime or something?
It was sci-fi, and I thought it was saved by Netflix, or maybe saved by Prime, or one of those. Deadly.
I'll have a look.
Talk to me after the show. After the show.
Yeah, it looks good.
All right, there's a lot of talking. I steal so much. Next up
Last
is
one.
Super Meat Boy 3D.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks fun.
Yes.
I like the look of this one a lot.
It's really good. If you like Super Meat Boy, it's Super Meat Boy in 3D. The developers have done an excellent job of translating the precise platforming mechanics for the most part. As I commented in my preview, currently in the build that I played, there's like a landing circle always on the screen as you're maneuvering. And I started to pay more attention to where that was going than really where Super Meat Boy was, which I don't know if that's a problem or not, if that's just the nature of it being a 3D platformer. It's the same way I would look for the shadow that would tell me where I'm going to land in a 3D platformer. But what really impressed me was I actually bumped into Tom Warren in the Xbox booth when we were checking this out. We played a little bit of Invincible Versus. He beat me. And then I played this. And you had 8 minutes to get through the demo they had. And the early parts taught you the mechanics. And then the latter parts pushed you up to level 40. And you were like, oh, my God. I made it to the last level with about 30 seconds of that 8 minutes to spare. And the developer was watching and chatting with us, and we were chatting about development and all of this jazz. And I was like, I'm super curious. Come on. No one's here. It's early. How quickly can you do this? Fucking hell. This guy, where I took 3 minutes to make it through a section unscathed, it's 15 seconds a level. The guy was just skipping entire sections, wall running over stuff I didn't even know could be done, and it was jaw-droppingly good. He completed the 8 minutes demo that you had in less than a minute. It was absolutely fucking nuts. So for speedrunners and people thinking, oh, is there going to be challenge here? Yeah, there's going to be challenge here. That guy was insanely good at this game. But yeah, it's great. And that is pretty much most of everything that we saw at Gamescom. I can't think of anything else that I want to talk about, and we'll see what happens. Who knows?
Just gonna throw your giant face up on the screen again, as part of when we got to, after a little bit of complaining, to see the Xbox Ally and Ally X, the far and away most comfortable handhelds I've ever used, the best balance, the best feeling. Just perfect grips. Having the Xbox thing, they got some back buttons too, which is really nice. Only 2. I normally use 4, but 2 is good enough. It's better than 0.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I always use 4 on the Elite. I think that's the one con that I wish I could fix on the ROG Xbox Ally, but yeah, I'm excited about not obviously having the hands-on experience that you guys have had, but yeah,
having used them, the Ally, the white one, that John besmirched and said felt cheap when he used a very early engineering sample and didn't realize, oh, the actual real one feels fantastic.
Yes,
They've moved the speakers facing forward. I don't know if it was always like that on the Ally,
I think so. Yeah, but
because it wasn't on the Legion Go. But yeah, the speakers sound great. The exact same. I'm imagining they have a billion of them sourced, so the exact same screen with the big bezels, which some people get annoyed about. Everything feels well balanced. My hands never got tired, and I was shocked at how well the base model ran Forza 5. Like, it ran it perfectly, and it looked real good in a way that my Steam Deck cannot come close to doing, despite the fact that the Steam Deck has the same chip, even though the one in the Ally white unit is a newer variant of that hardware. And also, a lot of people are like, how come they don't call it the Ally S and Ally X? And it's because it is still an ASUS product, and their naming conventions are the Ally and the Ally X, and so they stuck with that. But this thing just tore through Doom at like mix of medium and low. We couldn't really change any of the settings. Or at least they asked us not to. I did turn on frame gen. I was getting like 80. Or a frame stats, and I was getting like 80. It's kind of crazy. The big thing I think for most people is just going to be, it is not an Xbox. It's not going to play your console only games, but if you have an Xbox, it will be very good for, or it should be fine for remote play. So if you want to treat it like a PS Portal, it's very expensive PS Portal. It'll be there, but as a gaming PC, that UI felt great. And also being to jump and have it actually close games, which is not something Windows does, but it worked every time in there. And they were like, oh, it actually worked. They're excited because sometimes it's a little buggy and it doesn't. But yeah, no, they both felt great. They both looked real good. It's still a very nice VRR screen. I hope we, for once, make that list with Xbox and we get to review those and have them for future coverage, because I think that'd be interesting for people for a very long time on how they can play games.
Yeah, and I think that's the rub, right? Is as an outlet, like, I think we need to think about the new direction, and make sure that we're there for the people that are fans of this platform that are picking up these devices. I think going forward, once these are out in the wild, these are the first. They've got Xbox in the name. I know you can get a handheld PC, but Xbox have partnered with ASUS on this one. This is their jointly owned device, and I feel like
with
wherever we can, we should include coverage. But yeah, there's no price yet.
Play
I wonder
Anywhere
why, John. You might
that,
hint at why.
Play Anywhere being that Xbox initiative is obviously also really important. I really like that Xbox has done the what was it? It's not certified for handheld. It was like optimized for handheld. Was that right? It was something like that.
Yes, yeah, it's handheld verified, Ally verified program.
Yeah. So very similar to the sort of Steam Deck verified kind of thing. It's sort of this is the spec that we recommend you run it at. They have done UI tweaks to these specific games that have been earmarked for working great on handheld as well. I know, John, that was a complaint from you a lot with certain games that you would launch on handheld, because the UI has not scaled properly with that experience. It then doesn't become so enjoyable to use. So the fact that Xbox is cognizant of making sure that that experience feels great, both on handheld and on console, and obviously on PC as well, making sure that it's putting more focus on what consumers are playing on, because that content is accessible for the most part on all of those different devices and sort of access points.
You know what? One of my main concerns is, as someone who's used the Steam Deck and used the Legion Go, can this please have its own set of settings? The amount of times I've gone from ultra everything on my PC to then my Steam Deck feels like it's going to explode trying to do ultra everything, and I have to change it. But then that means next time I play on PC, I have to go and change all the settings again.
Your settings sync via Steam. So this is, I think I'm kind of glad that this is the week where I get to hang out on the show with you guys, because I think there's probably a lot of questions that your audience who still currently only plays on console will have about this device. I certainly have questions, being quite new to PC. I only built my PC in May of this year, and we're now closing out August, so I haven't had it for that long, and I still feel like in some respects I've found my feet for sure, but there's certainly more tinkering and exploration that I could do. I sort of need to carve out the headspace to do some of that myself. One of those things is and actually one thing that I don't particularly love about gaming on PC is that multiple launcher experience. That's really annoying. I really like that Xbox is focusing on that, both on PC and in their handheld environment as well. Jesse, the point that you raised about your settings, then, are they tied to your Steam account, like
Pretty
Steam
much.
cloud saves almost?
So obviously
That
with Steam, not
seems
everything
really
has a cloud save.
Yeah.
But pretty much anything that has, like when I would jump from Starfield, trying on this, which doesn't work almost at all on this anyways, or Forza or anything else. Hey, look, it shows my Elden Ring startup. This would always yoink in my PC settings. And it drove me insane. Because like I was playing Eric's Home, and I had Eric's Home maxed out entirely while doing the review. And every once in a while I'd hop on here and do some of it, and I'd have to go in, change all my settings down, and then when I played on PC again, set them back up. And that drove me insane, Steam.
See, the thing with that as well is that Steam Cloud does not universally sync graphical settings in games. So it does sync game saves and profile states, but it doesn't explicitly state, "Hey, we're going to do this." And you know, it's a frustration when it does happen, because you're suddenly like, "Whoa, why is this running like shit?" And it's because you've played it on a PC. So I hope Microsoft
We'll just play games.
bear that in mind. But I think that's something that can be overcome with just with protocols and strategies for that. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of these are the sort of valid questions and concerns that quite rightly will come from people who don't necessarily use PC at all, or are new to PC gaming as a result of picking up the ROG Xbox Ally, because they are familiar with the console environment. They like the fact that the version of Windows that's shipping with these new handhelds feels more familiar to a console user. But there's still going to be those addressables that users might not necessarily expect when they're picking this up. And I think it's really important for Microsoft to the onus is on Microsoft to make that experience as easy and as welcoming as possible, because when you have a handheld, you don't expect to be tinkering with it. It's one of those devices where you expect to be able to just pick up and play it. And I trust that's the vision.
There's only one handheld that does that, and it is the Switch. Every other handheld ever made is just either Windows or Linux or some variant of thing where you must tinker.
Yeah, there is some tinkering.
That's why I respect the goal that Microsoft has set for itself with this, this sort of Xboxified version of the Windows OS that is running on this set of devices. I respect what they're trying to do with that, because it's clear that they are trying to make this feel as close to an Xbox console experience as possible, where some of those things. So I know I haven't really had many frustrations with PC yet, but I know one of them was Play Anywhere not working properly with Death Stranding. And it's only been with Death Stranding on PC, but my saves weren't saving properly. I could pick up the game on Xbox, make a load of progress, go over to my PC, and that progress will transfer over from my console to my PC. But if I then continue that game on PC, made a load more progress, and then go back to my Xbox, that hasn't synced, that hasn't uploaded, and it's frustrating when stuff like that underplay anywhere doesn't necessarily work the way you would expect it to.
There can be an issue too with quick resume, because if you don't fully close the game and it's stuck in quick resume, it won't.
Oh no, I was doing that as well.
Yeah, that was the very beginning for the Death Stranding port when people are having
What
issues.
they need to signify to the player is, as you close a game out and it's got that functionality between devices, it's just a notification to say this has happened successfully or not.
Yes.
You know, and then at least you know, right? Because I've had that as well, and I find it predominantly because the way a console works. When you shut down a game and you turn a console off, it has a low power mode and it's off, but it's still doing some network shit and syncing that stuff and blah, 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 blah. You can still download games while it's off, that kind of thing, right? But with a PC, that's not always the case. If I Alt F4 a game from an Xbox Store perspective and expect it to just do all of that, what I should be doing is save, quit out properly, maybe wait a minute before shutting and giving it a chance. And I think that's probably the rub that you've bumped into. And on the performance tinkering front on the handheld, it's worth mentioning that even in this new Xbox Ally X era, there is Armory Crate is still built into the operating system. And just like you can now, you can swap from a 13 watt, it might be 13 or 15 watt silent mode, 17 watt performance mode. Or if you're plugged in, even if you're not, you can blow your battery in an hour, a 35 watt turbo mode where it's just pulling all the power it can. You can still do that in the new Xbox Ally X. You just left bumper all the way and you can change your performance profile. And that's purely because you might be playing a, Shinobi as an example on the existing Xbox Ally X on the Ally X that I have. Fuck these naming conventions. It ran on performance mode without an issue whatsoever. So I could run it for ages and it wasn't a battery hog and it was performant, 60 FPS, great. But if I tried to play Assassin's Creed Shadows on my Ally X, it wants me to bump it up to performance or turbo without a shadow of a doubt to get a decent frame rate out of it. Otherwise, it's a juddery mess, right? So you as the player in this new handheld world, you get to decide where you're at and what you need. If you're near a plug and you're at home and you could even play plugged in, as soon as you plug it in, it just switches to turbo mode anyway and gives you the full whack. But it gives you options.
I like that those options are there as well, because it's when you mentioned the Switch earlier, Jesse, is actually being the only real pick up and play handheld by comparison. We think about some of the power limitations that the Switch comes with. We see like some of the performance caps that you're going to get on the Switch or the Switch 2. And it's great that there is a handheld that lets you do away with that. But obviously, you're compromising on things like battery life. But again, if you're plugged in and great use case for me, and I know full well that this is going to come in clutch in a few months' time. For anyone who doesn't know, my partner and I are expecting our first child at the end of January, which is really, really exciting. There's a pretty good chance that love that. Thank you. There's a pretty good chance that I might not be able to play on the living room TV. And I don't necessarily want to be in here in my home office where my PC is. I want to be downstairs, and I don't want to hug the living room TV. The perfect solution for that is something like a gaming handheld, where I can have the games that I want to play on my PC or on my Xbox, but natively on a handheld instead of either streaming. Obviously, there are going to be exceptions to that rule, like certain games that are on Xbox that aren't on PC, GTA 6 being one of them. You're not going to be able to play that natively on a handheld. But I like the fact that remote option. Exactly. Yeah. And again, if I'm at home and I don't want to hog the telly, but I still want to be around my family and I want to play some games, it's nice that I get to do that, and my internet connection is definitely stable enough for me to enjoy that experience. Options are awesome, and it's really good that players are being given more of them for sure.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, either way, I think that they are really great devices with the tech that's available to us right now. Feels like a very much a first step. And, you know, I actually liken it to the transitionary period that used to be the case between the original Xbox and the Xbox 360, or, you know, the PS2 to the PS3. Is like, hey, this is a new gen. These games are only going to play here, right? Like, we're in the middle of this. Here's Play Anywhere, and all of our current games that we're building are doing this. But actually, you know, we're working with partners, but we've still got all of this stuff that you had from the last 20 years that doesn't. And how are we going to solve for that? And that's on them. But like, I've seen a lot of like chatter from pundits, like, well, it's not an Xbox if you can't play my native Xbox games. And I'm like,
I find that really silly, because a lot of the games that you're going to be playing on your Xbox, you will also be able to play natively on your PC.
like
fucking Doom, Halo,
yeah,
Elder Scrolls, Starfield.
Going back and dipping into the past and old games, like,
yeah,
it happens, like, and I'm just speaking anecdotally. For me, it happens on occasion, rarely, sometimes. Most of the time, I'm playing new shit, right? Like, and so, like, I understand, but I own those and I want to be able to play. Totally get it, totally respect it, but like, that's a nice to have. And like, what happened to the We Believe in Generations mansion? Everyone was like, whoa, yeah, like,
I guess
this is, yeah, I don't know.
Obviously, I want it. Like, obviously, I want those things, and I wrote an article for XboxEra and made a video talking about this issue quite a while ago. Essentially, that line is going to get blurred. There was a specific back compat example that I used in that video and article playing SSX3. I picked up SSX3, which came out on the PS2 and the original Xbox and the GameCube. I want to say 2004, 2003, 2004, something like that. Wasn't very old, but I really enjoyed it. Thought it was a great game, and I wanted that nostalgia trip. So I played that on my Series X, and I was really happy that I could play it on my Series X. I'm not going to be able to play that on my handheld. Yes, I would love to be able to, but I'm far more likely, as John said, to play the new stuff that's coming out and keeping up with that. And being able to access that natively is ultimately more important than playing my back catalog stuff. But don't get me wrong, I'm also really excited about the thing that Xbox has now openly said that they're doing with trying to unite that Xbox console library with feature and flexibility of Windows. Whatever they're cooking, I'm up
so that you've got a CPU chiplet and you got a GPU chiplet, and on all those GPU chiplets are the hardware you need for back compat. Now, whether the third party decides to pay for the licensing to turn that on is up to them, but the whole chiplet design from AMD lets you mix and match. And I'm guessing as long as you hit a baseline on the CPU and GPU, that back compat can be used, and it's an Xbox. That is also a PC. So it's a really smart, incredibly varied future where there will be far more Xbox hardware than ever before, which is what makes it so funny when so many people we know in the industry really seem to think Xbox is on the outs. It's like, no, they are the exact opposite. They are doing the thing where they go quiet, but they start creeping in everywhere. And everyone's like, oh, well, they've bought most of the industry. That's why, yeah.
Moves.
They're
significant moves
everywhere. They're in every platform, doing everything. It's the thing everyone always worried about. But they were so happy thinking that Xbox was dead that they've ignored the fact that, no, they're more alive than ever, and they're coming for everything.
Yeah. Fun times. But yeah, handhelds are cool.
And speaking of handhelds, these people were showing them off. And we're going to beg them for review units. When we went out, and one of our last days, we went out for dinner with the lovely Nicole, Jason Ronald, and even Paris Lily was there. And Kay Asante was there. And that's Gamescom Tony. It was a very full table.
Love Gamescom Tony.
But yeah, we ran into Paris about 800 times during Gamescom. because we were just constantly around each other, especially at that Reddit lounge. It's like the only place to hang out in between meetings. But again, Nicole is amazing. Jason's always amazing. And Jason might have talked to John out of rebranding XboxEra. So anyone who was worried, they posed a simple question. They were just like, well, what are you passionate about? Okay, why don't you become the very best at that? I'm like, fuck yeah. We will do our very best to become the absolute best.
We already are the best at that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's very strong
the most
price.
successful. How's that?
I have a question about the Xbox Ally X versus the standard one. So I've heard, and John, you're not the only person I've heard that has said that the base model Xbox Ally is going to be great for most people. Obviously we haven't had exact pricing, but there's sort of people seem to be operating under the assumption
550 and 900. Those were going to be the prices.
550 and 900. So for
dollars.
Yeah.
Oh,
so for an extra 300 to 400 quid, that's quite a substantial amount of money. That's a whole other console. How noticeable was that difference? Like, is it?
That's the thing. I would.
We did not have the same games on each of them. I think on purpose.
You would.
It's a difficult question. I appreciate it. It's quite an awkward one.
If you are the person who would care, you want the Ally X. The Ally is for the person who wouldn't even know there's a difference.
It was definitely the case that the Ally X exists for the hardcore. The hardcore are going to want that device because they want the best. That's how that shit works. And it's really nice. It's got the impulse triggers. It's got everything that's great about the Ally X already. Plus, it's got a better CPU and all of that jazz.
Better memory, better RAM, everything.
It's got more storage. So there's a lot of good things that you are getting as part of that deal. The storage doubles, the RAM 16 gig versus 24, and the CPU is much better. There's also a bit of future proofing in the CPU side of things on the Ally X. Like, I'm still surprised at what the Ally X that I have right now can run, and it's not running, I think, the same CPU.
Honestly, the future proofing comment is actually something that pricked my ears up, because I remember you talking about that in your preview, and I think that for me as a consumer is actually more important than anything else. Like, I've not had that much flack, but I've had a bit of flack for building a PC with a 5080 in it. And the reason why I picked a 5080 is because I don't really want to change my graphics card for another 10 years if I can help it.
Yeah.
Not
fair.
Because I'm expecting it to outperform just based on money alone.
You have to look
it's always more nuanced than that.
Yeah, you have to look at the development of games and the way the industry is going. And it's not that AI is doing everything, but it's that developers now are leaning into instead of brute forcing with pure more memory and more this and more that to get the best of the best. They are finding software techniques and optimization techniques to get there. And some of that is driven by, frame gen technologies and things of that nature. And I don't know the details, and I'm not the guy to ask, but the way it was explained to me in my initial hands-on back in June when we were in LA was that the Extreme chip for the Ally X has an AI, like a dedicated AI unit to help with those technologies. So games that might struggle will kind of not look like they're struggling, or they'll be optimized in a way and developed for that. So when they talk about their handheld verify program, I imagine there's things that are going to lean into that element. But I find still, like, I know that that's going to be the best of the best, it's just a stupid analogy, but a lot of people, like, I make a lot of maps in Halo Forge, or I did. And the reason I loved Forge was because it took existing items and building blocks like Lego, this is an apron and this is a brick, but then I could stretch them and turn them into ropes or whatever. And it was that it was there's the limitations. This is the box you're in, and it was finding out how to get the absolute best and persuade and surprise people. Yeah, I know that this is only made in this box, but you wouldn't think it if you saw it. Like, and that analogy kind of, I feel, applies to the Ally, and arguably any kind of handheld. It's very much a Nintendo mentality, right? Like, these are the specs, and there is no wiggle room. So you're going to have to work your butt off on day one to optimize to the nth degree to get something performant and interesting. And it forces developers to do two things, in my opinion. It forces a more unique approaches in terms of games where graphics aren't always the priority, but like, what can we do? What gameplay ideas can we implement? What new things can we come up with? And then we've got to fit them in the box. And then it's Tetris as to how all that works. But that limitation, I feel, sparks creativity. Because humans don't like to be put in a box. We think of all the ways that we can surprise and delight and break out of it. Whereas the old way is, here's a shit ton of video RAM and all these compute units and all the other technical jargon that you want to throw at it. Let's go ham, and we can just brute force our way to making it look the best of the best. So, yeah, I think the Ally X is the more interesting device. It's lower powered, as Jesse says. The Ally. I hate their naming convention. I can't help it. But the white handheld is the more interesting device. I think it's gonna be the more popular because it's cheaper. End of story. Once the hardcore have done their buy-in, and I'm looking forward to seeing what games look like. Hopefully, we can one of each, right? And we can do like a comparison. That's where it's interesting, right? Well, here's Forza Horizon 5 running, or Forza Horizon 6, if you want to believe the rumors, running on this, and here it is running on this. What's the difference, and how far can we push this, and how can this keep up, and where does it not keep up anymore? You know, those are the interesting things.
Yeah, that's the type of content that I'm actually really excited to see. I'd love to be a day one buyer, but it's that sort of, I need to see that breakdown. I need to see whether or not the juice is worth the squeeze. I want the more powerful device. I'm quite happy going for the more powerful device as long as I can find work quick enough after being laid off. Because there's that. Yeah, fun times. But you know, assuming things go okay and I'm not out of work for very long and I end up profiting from redundancy, but we'll see how that plays out. I might treat myself, but you know, it's all ifs and buts, and
like, we don't know whether Xbox are going to supply review units or not. I certainly hope they do. I think we would do a really
they will
good job
to everyone in the US, but we're not considered US, so we never know.
Right? But like, let's see what happens. Like, we'll do our best. We'll work with the teams and see if that's something that we can achieve. And if it is the case, I'll do the best I can. Like, it might be that it's US only and Jess is going to have a horrible week.
I don't know why, but no, these were added in. This is just in StreamYard. They added them in.
Oh,
literally tonight.
Wow.
That's punch.
Lovely. That's great. Stop playing those noises. People listening audio-wise are going to be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Really jarring.
Oh dear. Anyway, we've talked for several hours.
I really hope Nick never realizes those exist.
Well, he will now. I don't particularly want to dive into every news topic, so I
deleted half of them.
Yeah, a few of these, just to keep people in the loop. Xbox insiders can stream and play in new ways with Game Pass. If you're a core or a standard subscriber, you're going to be able to start to stream your games and play on cloud.
Yeah, pretty much came to all tiers. So if you've got core, if you've got standard, you get the stream your own games now. So
Yep.
I think that will be the value add that replaces the multiplayer wall.
Yeah, like I feel like the multiplayer paywall is going to go away because it can't exist in this new world for them.
No, that hybrid device really does just tear it apart, doesn't it? It's yeah.
You ask for one set of customers to be able to do one thing, and another set of customers have to jump through some hoops to do this. It does make sense.
Yeah.
GOG.com put out an alert that Xbox gamers can actually link their Microsoft accounts to GOG to start building their DRM-free game libraries on their platform, which seems to have garnered some attention. There's been
I
some
was really
questions about...
confused by this. Can you sort of help explain it, please?
So GOG regularly sells games that focus on not having any DRM. So you buy it and you will own it forever.
Well, this login would be you're essentially tying Xbox and GOG. So once GOG becomes part of the Xbox PC app, your shit's all there.
Yeah. So if you wanted to start buying DRM-free games on GOG,
like Horizon
and
Zero
then
Dawn,
play them on that handheld, you could.
So this is for like
this is another
future
PC
hardware. It's
yes.
nothing.
It's just PC stuff. Yeah.
On console side.
Nope. Just PC stuff. So it's another PC launcher that you can, like with Epic, you can log in with your Xbox account. They're tied together, and so when you have that new launcher that aggregates all of it together, good to go.
Cool.
You don't have to. It's about removing friction mainly. Remove friction as much as you can.
So it's good to see another third-party store being on the bandwagon. And
I got some breaking news for you, John. A little website called Gaming Trend.
I am aware of this. They've published their review of Console Wars, the card game.
Mm-hmm. I just had a link to me by the writer himself. Oh, well, let's take a look.
All right, let's read this live. Let's go through this live together, people.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's always scary when your work is critiqued. Like, I won't lie. Reading a bad review would hurt my feelings right now.
Mm-hmm.
Console Wars, the card game review. Fight for supremacy, stay for the laughs. It's a great game where allegiances die and are reborn as you battle for video game dominance. Snazzy, well-made box. 165 cards.
It's a nice picture.
Yeah, he's done some lovely pictures of all of the.
He linked the launch trailer. Wow. Yep. Man, Pre-Drag's art is so good.
Yeah.
It really is.
Going through and explaining it probably far better than our rule set does.
Wow. 85 out of 100. Console Wars, the card game, takes a part of video game culture that is the absolute worst and makes it fun. Even with certain rules needing a bit of clarification and being made for a specific crowd, it makes for a fun time among friends. The genre cards are all excellently done. The gameplay loop has just enough going for it to be engaging whilst easy to play. The Console Wars may be dead, but Console Wars, the card game, isn't. Thank you very much, guys.
Nice.
Shout out to Gaming Trend.
Guys.
Oh, that is nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
That's really cool.
Delighted. Lovely stuff. Thanks, everybody.
I still need to gather up a group of friends and actually play it. I have my box here. I have it unboxed. I just haven't managed to get a group of mates together to actually play.
Life is busy, man. I get it.
Right, there's the link. If you want to go give it a view.
Go give those guys a click.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I'll read that in full. I'll pour over that.
In chat.
If you like,
too bad I only played 90+ games. It's like peak Console Wars, isn't it? It was great.
Can't really play anything on Xbox then, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's all. We're all in the mid 80s over here. It's awesome. Otherwise, some other bits and pieces. PlayStation 5 have put their price up finally in the US by $50, I think, more or less.
First time on the Pro.
Yeah, and the Pro's gone up to like $750 now. So still be cheaper than an LIX.
It's finally more expensive than the 2 terabyte Xbox.
Yeah.
By $20.
How's that? Ryan McCaffrey was right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, they were smart and they got a lot of stock in country before they had to admit the economic reality, and they protected their leadership position. But yeah, now it's shockingly expensive. So
Yeah.
oof. Yeah, that's all the news. If you want more news, check out Headlines on Thursday. We dug into all this stuff, like we've been talking for ages now. It's late. Me and Deadly are in the UK. We want to go to bed at some point.
I'd want to get away if I
say
had Borderlands to play, but I don't. So I don't give a shit.
About Headlines. It is hands down one of my favorite midweek shows to listen to. I always listen to it in the car on the way home from work.
Thanks,
You can get that beamed to your preferred podcast apps using Patreon, if you are a Patreon member. That is my favorite Patreon perk by far, because I do actually use that really regularly, twice a week in the car, because I don't often catch the show live. So yeah, if you do listen to that show and you do like it and you want to access it in a way that isn't YouTube, I would recommend that.
Thanks, mate.
Yep, get it up ad-free as quick as I can after the show ends.
Yeah.
With timestamps that don't work.
It's really quick as well. It's always ready for when I get in the car.
Yeah, I'm normally done with everything about 20 minutes after the show. Timestamps, article, and Patreon post. Mostly because I have to go and very quickly work more, or else John hits me.
It's true. Yeah, and he was ill this week. Like what the fuck?
They still showed up on time though. I think there's been like 2 Headlines episodes where something has happened with the upload and it's not been.
Yeah, so it was really weird on Patreon for a while when they were changing their whole upload system, where I'd have to upload it 5 or 6 times before it finally stuck.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Very odd.
Yeah,
but yeah, if you want to,
I like that.
If you want to get access to all that fun stuff, head to patreon.com/XboxEra. Like a good friend said, be the best Xbox focused website you can. And I love this phrase, and it's a phrase I'm going to continue to use. It is a platform run by people that talk about the platform, but actually play on it too. Like, you know what I mean, audience? You know what I'm talking about? They're not just talking about Xbox in this way. We actually play our games there a lot. That's why we cover it.
It's true. One of the things I really like about playing on PC as well as Xbox console is how familiar it feels. And I think that in this this space that Xbox is moving into, PC is a part of that platform, that ecosystem, that environment where you can access Xbox content. It's really good if you use it, and I use it a hell of a lot where I consume most of my games.
I feel like there's a lot of pundits out there that talk about it, but they don't know the benefits. They don't use it.
I agree. Yeah,
well, it's all the people we know that we like that are also like, well, there's no way Game Pass is sustainable. It's bad for developers. I'm like, oh god. No.
People are always willing to shit on it, but like this year I've played both Expedition 33 and The Alters, 2 games that I have absolutely loved on Game Pass on both PC and Xbox. Whenever it is felt more convenient for me to play either in my living room or at my desk. Like I said earlier, the only hiccup that I've had with Play Anywhere and cloud saves and stuff has been Death Stranding. Everything else has been brilliant, and I really like the direction that Xbox is moving in terms of having that hybrid console that allows me to access more stores, that handheld that lets me resume that Xbox experience, whether it is in a PC environment or I'm picking up a game from where I last left it on console, whatever. Like, it's really, really good. I don't feel like enough of that is actually celebrated or used genuinely and authentically, which is why I really like the XboxEra actually talk about it properly.
Outside of Nick, who never uses it ever.
Yeah, it just plays his Switch. Big thank you to everybody that's hung around in the chat and chatted to us thus far. I think we're going to dive into a little game show for some fun. Are we doing that today? Is that a thing? Mm-hmm. Okay, we are. And Deadly is going to be playing in the place of Mr. Special Nick. So
I
let's
think
go
this
do
might
that.
go horribly, but that's okay.
Yeah, and then we'll dive into some community questions, which is a Patreon perk where we're going to dive into whatever the community wants to ask us, and then we'll round things out. But actually, before we do any of that or press any buttons, Saul M4 is in the chat and he's asking a question. The rumors of the Forza Horizon 6 announcement. We haven't, but let's briefly discuss them. I am of the opinion that when it comes to a new game being announced that has not been announced,
that is super close to being announced, according to the rumor.
That is perhaps, according to the rumor, 2 weeks from being announced or something of that nature. I don't feel like it's particularly a good news story to be like, there's going to be an announcement, and then that's the news story. And interestingly, yes, we'd heard this rumor
for a long time.
I've seen the documentation that other folks are saying that they verified, blah blah blah. We saw it before I even got on the plane in Gamescom.
Yep.
And I had conversations with my peers at that thing, and I was like, I don't want to talk about that. What, like, that's not fun.
And some of those peers said they didn't want to either. And then they wrote stories.
This is what happens when Nick isn't here, by the way, because otherwise there'd be a rumor mill.
Yeah, like the nutshell is, I expect it is true. I haven't gone around digging into verifying it on my own, but I feel like enough people have that. Yeah, sure, okay, but no one wants to confirm that because, like, what fun is that? What fun is that for you guys? Like, genuinely, and if you haven't heard the rumor, I'm deliberately not kind of detailing it in any particular way, but like, it's no fun. Like, imagine how pleased you would have been if it is true and it did happen and you had no fucking idea.
Though it would be like 2 a.m. for most of us.
That's what that team were going for. And instead, now it's all... And then when it doesn't happen, it won't be anger. Like, if it doesn't happen, I should say, there won't be anger at the people that said it's definitely going to happen. There'll be anger like, oh, Microsoft's messaging is really bad. And it's like, here we fucking go again. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, yeah... That's the rumor. It's out there. You can go look it up if you want.
Yeah, where it's going to be and when it's going to be announced is the rumor, in case you're wondering.
Like, there's some things that I feel are worth reporting on, right? And there are some things
like
that
Starfield on PS5.
Well, it wasn't just Starfield on PS5 in that report. I'm not even going to defend myself to you, you big jerk. Anyway, yeah, there you go. There's that rumor.
But gentlemen, it is now time for Name a Game. We're back, and where is the goddamn actual music I want to play on here? It does not exist.
I don't know what this music is. It's horrible.
Yeah, I can't find the actual just friggin' Me Shop music. It doesn't exist. Somebody delete it? Oh my god, it's at the very bottom for no reason. There it is. It's never been there before. Fucking cheating shit. God damn it.
Right, well, after that profanity, welcome to what we're playing. What year, my dear?
Oh yeah, it's What Year, My Dear. We're playing for...
Say I was not mentally prepared for naming it.
So, Nick, a.k.a. Deadly Headley, is playing for Mike Normal. And Sick is playing for Jordan Malone. Whoever wins can message me, and I will hand you a video game for the Xbox. People almost never do, so I barely ever hand them out. That is on you. I used to chase people down. I gave up. Just message me anywhere that I know it's actually you. So like Patreon, the Discord forum.
This is a perk for our Patreon members. So we exclusively pick from our list of Patreon peeps to play in this little game of skill and wit.
I put out a Patreon peeps yesterday. Last night for fun. A Void Breaker. That game's great. The category this week. Classic arcade games.
Ugh. Okay,
all-time classics. They're some of the biggest games ever made. You'll have heard of every single one of these. Don't go ugh. I'll kick you in the dick.
Okay.
Gentlemen.
This might go badly, Mike, but we'll see.
Yeah. So you just have to have your phone, you have the calculator open, and you write the year. And you don't show it until I say to show it, unlike John, who always messes that up anyways. Gentlemen, what year did the game Asteroids release at the arcade? All-time seminal classic Asteroids.
This is going to go awfully.
Everyone you get completely right, 3 points. Closest without going over gets 1 point.
I think
If
this
you
might
guess
be
something that
ridiculous.
just makes absolutely no sense, I disqualify you. Gentlemen, give me your year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 78.
Oh.
Closest without going over, not nailing it, is one Mr. Deadly Headley, as it was 1979.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I didn't.
GG's.
Awesome. Okay. Good start.
Solid start.
I never even showed asteroids on the screen, did I? Gentlemen, what year did Final Fight release at the arcade? Classic 2D brawler, Final Fight, well, 2.5D brawler. Oh, I gotta have my announcer voice on. How's it going, gentlemen?
Complete shock.
Give myself a little bit of bass.
I feel like I've got a good idea.
What good idea is that, John?
I feel like it was...
No, show me your year in 3, 2, 1. 89 and 86. One of you has nailed it.
No.
And taking that lead is one. John, I cheated and looked at Google Clark. It was 1989.
I don't think he had the time to do that. It's okay.
Well, one of the most popular games ever in nerddom, but not in sales. What year did Marvel vs. Capcom release at the arcades?
I have no fucking idea on this.
Nick's gonna kill me for getting this wrong.
I don't know. I'm literally just throwing a guess out there. I have no fucking idea.
I see someone says ka-chow. Maybe I'll get rid of the deep voice and I'll start doing my Owen Wilson. Ka-chow, ka-chow. Gentlemen, what year? In 3, 2, 1. Closest without going
Whoa.
over, once again, is Deadly Headley, as it was 1996.
Oh, wow.
I mean, was Deadly Headley. Ka-chow. Ka-chow. Wow.
I'm glad I'm getting the eras right. Like I've been pretty
Yeah.
convinced something, and it's not over. It probably will happen. I've convinced myself I'm gonna get an era like embarrassingly wrong.
Nope, it's
so
3
far
it's 3 to
That's
2.
normally my fault.
You've actually gotten
done
more
all right.
correct than John. Gentlemen,
Come on, Mike, we got this.
what year... No, I won't keep doing Owen Wilson. What year did Sega Classic... Or no, not Sega. I'm thinking of Golden Axe. What year did Classic Gauntlet release?
Oh,
The original Gauntlet. A Florida Seminole classic.
I have no idea.
I don't care. Give me your year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closer without going over. Which I guess is a little easier to do than normal in this. John Clark, as it was 1985.
Oh, okay.
Current
I
score
thought it
is
was early
4 to 2.
80s, but it was mid. All right.
Mid, much like your attempted green hair dye. Gentlemen, what year did the classic Nintendo game, that is spelled very differently than I thought it was, Punch Out, with 2 exclamation points, release? Punch dash out, exclamation, exclamation, is how it is actually at the arcades.
I
Gentlemen,
know this.
give me your year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bloody hell, we're close.
Pulling even further ahead. John Clark, you got it right, 1984.
Nice.
I have a feeling it, like, 'cause I swear Nick has mentioned Punch Out a lot on this show, and I remember it being my birth year, so I was just like, appreciate that. Thanks, Nick.
Gentlemen, what year did Sega's beloved Virtua Cop release? That's very demonic.
Ooh.
Good old light gun game, Virtua Cop. Number 1. where you could shoot people in the nuts, I think, in the leg, and they'd like react. Gentlemen, give me your year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 96 and 94.
Look at us. We're always like within a couple of
close.
years.
Someone has nailed it. That person is Mr. Deadly Headley. 1994.
Hey.
We are currently
Nice.
7-5, keeping it in the game. Look, you nailed one. That's more than most.
GG's.
Keeping in the classic arcade machine genre, because that's what every single one of these is. What year did the classic racing game Outrun release? The original Outrun. Sitting in your car. A blonde babe by your side. John knows all about having blonde babes.
I will guess.
It's true, I do.
Gentlemen, give me a year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 86 and 92.
Oh,
1986 it was.
fuck yeah!
Nice.
That is awesome. Feel good about that.
Pulling ahead now up 10-5. John Sikamika Clark. Stole his name from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, in case you were wondering. Not an original
It's a
man.
great song. It's a great song.
Gentlemen, this game has actually had a recent remake by Jeff Minter. What year did the original Tempest release?
Oh, fuck.
Tempest. Old game.
Old? Oh, old?
These are all
Old
old.
as in my age old?
No, these are all old.
I'm digging for hints here. Like my age old?
Not the new Tempest, the old Tempest.
No, I don't know. If it's old.
Gentlemen, give me your
I'm
years in
pretty
3, 2, 1.
Sorry.
What were you going for?
old. 1,980.
Nailed by one Mr. Deadly Headley. 1981.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, wasn't
Now,
I
Nick would be
older?
losing his shit because you didn't have that the first time, and he's the most competitive person I've ever seen. But John doesn't care because he's tired and just wants the game to end. Gentlemen, what year did a little game known as Mortal Kombat release?
Oh, fuck you. What the
Bam,
original?
bam, 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 bam. I'm not screaming. There's people here. I probably could do that yell. I would scare the shit out of the people in the house with me, though.
I think I've gone too
Never
late.
mind. You might die. Gentlemen, give me your year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The grid. 91 and 96, closer. Without going over is John Clark at 1992.
Oh, so close.
Yeah.
The score is now
Those are really
11
good
to
games.
8 with 6 left. This big old monkey man just got himself a new release, but his very first one was just called Donkey Kong. What year did it come out?
Oh, shit.
The original one where he fought Jumpman, who you were, I think. Proto Mario. The original Donkey Kong. Give me your year in 5.
I just changed it at the last second.
4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Oh my god, I literally had 1982 and I changed it to 1980.
Well, changing it to 1980 has earned you 1 point, as it was actually 1981.
Oh, I put one and changed it. For fuck's sake.
Going from a beloved classic into a game most of us look at and hate. What year did Rampage release? You know, Rampage, you're the monsters beating up buildings, eating people.
No, but that sounds awesome. I want to.
Yeah, it's not fun though, sadly. You're like Big Wolf Man and Godzilla, and it's meh. It's not really meh. What year did Rampage release in? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got an 86. We got an 84. For fuck's sake, John, Got it again, 1986.
Oh, fuck you. No way.
It is now a 7-point lead with only 4 more. You've got to get at least 3 of these right to John getting none of them right.
Oof.
It's not going to be easy,
You can do this.
Buckaroo, because I'm asking you about one of the all-time arcade classics. Not a fun game, not a good game, but one of the ones people always think of when you say video game. Centipede. When did Centipede release at the arcades? God, how did Britt say Centipede as I was saying it? Britt, get out of my brain, you fucking weirdo. All right, give me your years. In 5, 6, 3, 9, 10, 1.
Oh! Shit, son.
No one gets a point because it was 1980.
Oh, you.
Way off.
Fuck.
Well, Deadly, you got to get these next 3 right. I hope John does not. Because you got to tell me when Crazy Taxi released. Day after day, we're unlike the rest. Can't remember the words. Crazy Taxi song words. Shit! Thank you for Life is Goof for subscribing with the Twitch Prime.
I'm torn between is it ticked over or is it just before? And I think you know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Yeah. There you go.
Iconic.
Gentlemen, give me your year in 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You both nailed it. It was 1999.
Yeah, let's go.
So it's a 7-point game. There's only 2 left. You get both of these right, you win at Deadly Headley. I'm going to give it to you, even though I shouldn't. Math-wise. John has won. I just reviewed a game that this series is based on. I artfully vengeanced myself, asking you now why, or when, or who, where, no when, was the original Shinobi released? Shinobi. Oh wait, that should be all capitals. Shinobi, all capitals. There we go. Gentlemen, give me your years in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh shit! I'm way over.
Shut up. You actually got it right.
Fuck off!
This is why it's always annoying, because I'll just guess and he gets so right, and it sucks. No one likes it. Everyone hates this game because of John.
That were made after I was born.
Gentlemen, final finishings up just for fun. We're shmupping it. What year did 1942 release? The old vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. Last week or 2 weeks ago, no, 3 weeks ago when we did What Year, My Dear, I think I had some games in the 40s and 50s because it was Bandai Namco, and they've been around a long time. If you show it early, Johnny, you'd lose. I give the win to Deadly because I'm sick of it.
I'm looking down. I can't actually.
Give me a year in 3, 2, 1. $1984.
No.
On the end, 21-11. John Cheetah Mita Nico Jerk wins.
Thank you.
It was a good game.
There you have it.
That was you were in it. You were fighting.
Until
It got closer at one point,
until
didn't it?
John's
Yeah.
bullshit luck came through.
Yeah, man. I just, I can't seem to get it in like the important areas in my life. But in this game show, I pull through. So congratulations, Jordan. You could reach out to Jesse on the forums or on our Discord, and a game code will be duly supplied for a game that you can play on your
That'll
device.
have a code.
Yeah. One of the other perks for our wonderful Patreon community, besides watching us amusingly battle for supremacy in silly competitive games is our community questions, where patrons every week can submit a question either via our Discord, via a form, or on our forums in the Patreon lounge for us to read out on the air and supply our musings and thoughts to. Big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters, because without you, we wouldn't be able to do cool stuff or bring you all the previews that you've read or viewed or watched this week. So we appreciate you. So big thanks. Much love to all of the patrons. If you're not one and you think I should probably get in on that and be one of the cool kids, head to patreon.com/XboxEra. Now, we'll start off with our Google form first. The first question is from JCase, apparently. And it's not a question, actually. It's a request. Can you please upload the Nick Rumour Mill song to the Discord as a file? I want it. It's a banging tune, and I would like to listen to it on repeat.
It has already been uploaded on there before in the Jesse's Stupid AI Music Lounge. I've uploaded it again, and I put a link in chat. So if you're already on the Discord, you can go right to it and get that stupid-ass song.
Enjoy, JK.
It's very good.
Enjoy.
And it's funny because people laugh at the lyrics, but they're 100% true.
Yep.
It's the rumor mill. It's only there to make Nick feel good. It's the rumor mill. John and Jesse would kill it forever if they could.
If they could.
That's what I put in, and it just made that long ass track.
It's gorgeous.
I mean, if we want, I've got it literally right here. I guess.
Let's just listen to that while we answer Patreon questions.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sorry, piano, you died today.
We could just release this as a music release on the XboxEra podcast Spotify for people to listen to for lols. I could do that. I could be just like, here you go.
I guess we're not getting to skip this Forza Horizon rumor. I guess it's just all in here, baby. This entire question is. Here's the entire rumor.
Okay. Yeah, well, it is what it is. I didn't put it out there, so I feel all right. So the next question is from Emargonaut, who asks about the Forza Horizon 6 reveal and location rumor. Writes in saying, hello, gents. I hope those of you who went to Germany are back home safe and sound. From the looks of it, you had a great time despite how frenetic and demanding Gamescom was. Kudos for all the hard work. Thank you, sir. On to the question. Rumors have been circulating for a while about the next Forza Horizon title, its location, and when it will be revealed. Recently, we saw a leak involving key cars being scanned, apparently lent to Playground Games by a third party. Their post was deleted. But more importantly, Windows Central claimed they've seen documentation pointing to a reveal at Tokyo Game Show 2025. If that turns out to be true, then the setting must be Japan. And the timing of the announcement makes sense, at least to me. Not just because of the rumoured location, but mainly because it would eclipse other big reveals and give room for hype to build ahead of next year's release. It would also steer clear of GTA's launch, well, you might think so, and leave the TGA's and Xbox Developer Direct open for other titles, or perhaps showcase Forza Horizon 6 gameplay for the first time in the 2026 Direct, which makes a lot of sense. Curious to hear your thoughts. What do you make of the setting? Do you think we'll get a reveal trailer at Tokyo Game Show or even a release window? And if so, when do you think it'll drop? Again, thanks for all the hard work in Germany. Hope it pays off. Take care. Now,
you want to just say the whole rumor we heard?
No.
It's all out there from other people.
Yeah, it is stupidly. It's all out there. I think, yeah, it makes sense for the game to be set in Japan if they are revealing it at the Tokyo Game Show. I think we'll get a reveal trailer if it is revealed there at the Tokyo Game Show. And
yeah, the timing's spring, and I would expect it to. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's looking to avoid GTA.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get a release window at the show. Maybe, but it
might say
just
spring.
2026.
Spring's
they might
3-month window.
Yeah. But there you go. I think it's a shame that wasn't allowed to have been put out there in the way that the team may have wanted, if it's true. He says with a caveat.
Especially after the success that it has had going to other platforms as well. It's clearly done very well for itself. It's really good for Xbox. It's really good for the Forza IP to see it doing as well as it has been. So yeah, I guess.
Here's a question for you. Do you think if it's real and if it's coming and if it's next year and if it's in spring, do you think it's a PS5 native version from the start? Or do you think that some business guy will be like, all right, well, let's test this exclusive sell console theory. We know that people have gone fucking mad. They've had a taste. Here's the next one. It's in Japan or whatever. It looks fucking amazing. It's only on Xbox. PlayStation in like 6 months. What do you think?
I can see logic on both sides, and it's an interesting question. I said something similar when Gears Reloaded was announced day one on PS5, because for me what it does is test the notion of whether or not putting content on another platform encourages a user to then go and sample it either via cloud or probably not buy a system, because I think that's kind of being proven. I'm sort of glad that reality that was posed by Phil Spencer is being proven, where people don't want to buy into a second system because they're too expensive, and people like where their digital libraries are and where their games are. It would be interesting to see what the Forza team does, what the Xbox team does, to see how they want to push that out. I can see it doing really well if it goes day one on PS5. I can also see people who have played Forza Horizon 5 on PS5 wanting to get a taste of what's going on Forza Horizon 6. I don't know. I feel like there's valid arguments as to.
I'm intrigued
for both sides.
They need a panic button to do it for them. If they've got them going alongside, yes. But it could be the Indiana Jones thing where they give it a little time. I don't know. Either way, doesn't bother me.
I feel like timed exclusivity seems to be quite a useful tool for going, you can play this content from us now, or you can wait around for it.
I think for them, most of the times, it's just going to be, what's our bandwidth? Can we easily get this over? Yeah, it can get everything everywhere whenever they want. No problem. You see Doom day and date. If Playground's busy, they're doing Fable, they're doing this. If they can get that all done, cool. But if not, then you either need the help or you wait a little while, either or. I wouldn't be shocked at either. I wouldn't be shocked at anything with them anymore. Same. Like where PlayStation is always going to do day and date PC for their live service stuff. You don't know about the others. You assume year and a half later, shorter over time. With Microsoft, they've gotten to the point now where it's like anything can be whenever, depending on that studio. Like we haven't seen Avowed. We haven't seen South Midnight. Smaller studios, busy studios, and probably less ROI. So do they, but Forza Horizon 6, that's going to make some cash. That'll be the type of thing you expect. Sooner, if not immediately.
I think that question about ultimately what's good for the game is also a really important one to ask. So I think with something like Forza Horizon 5, with Forza Horizon, where there is also a multiplayer focus and a community focus there as well, it makes more sense to launch that game everywhere. Something like Gears E-Day, for example, I'm at the point where I almost expect it to show up to PlayStation at some point, but I don't expect it to show up day and date. Maybe I'll be proved wrong there. I do expect it to be.
And I think Halo should be everywhere. And people will be like, but those are the big ones. We're like, yeah, but those are the games that need it. Those are the types of games and genres that need to be everywhere to be successful.
I agree with you, certainly on the multiplayer side. Like, I want Halo's next multiplayer component to be multi-platform. I understand and actually still agree with the argument that Halo's single-player IP is still quite synonymous with Xbox and the Xbox brand, and you pose that risk of damaging that, or there's all sorts of what ifs that are attached to that. But ultimately, if you put Halo in more places, it's going to benefit Halo more. And when it comes to, you know, Xbox fandom versus Halo fandom, whatever, I care more about the longevity of Halo than I do what happens to Xbox if Halo goes to other places.
Weird, isn't it?
Halo's fucking amazing. I love Halo. I want that to do. If Halo dies, I will be really upset.
Yep. It's frustrating when they keep screwing it up.
Yeah.
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 We'll see. Roll on October. We'll be getting a look. We'll be getting a look-see look at all that's going on.
I'm really excited about that. It's
going to be fun. All right. Jumping over to the forums, we've just got 5 community questions to troll through today, so nothing too terrible. First up, Jesse Brother, talking about K-pop Demon Hunters because reasons. Happy podcast 278, weary travelers and part-timers, superior replacement, deadly headily. And by the way, isn't it episode 277? The last podcast was 276 2 weeks ago before Jesse and John left for Gamescom. Except we released Between Two Ferns, a Gamescom episode 277, my friend. And that's the one you should go and listen to. Hytham, I did watch all of K-pop Demon Hunters, and while I had a hard time getting through the first half of it, it eventually got kind of barely tolerable. I clearly didn't like it as much as you did, or most of the world seems to, but I can say this, it wasn't the worst Korean-themed thing I saw on Netflix recently, because the awful finale episode of Squid Game exists, and you know what hasn't been awful? Alien Earth, which is friggin' awesome so far. I'm a guy who hasn't liked any Alien movies other than the first one, and Romulus, but Kayasante was right. That show is top tier. It's brilliantly written and so well acted. But this week's question is for John. Sir, is there a single game I should be more excited about than replaced? Because after watching your epic preview of it, I'm drooling more than a vampire in Sinners. If you like Mass Effect, I would get excited for The Expanse for sure. Other than that, I mean, Jesse probably knows more about what you love than I do. What would you say?
It would be those two.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no, definitely those two.
Yeah, there you go. The Expanse, mate. And yeah, I wish I could I really did. I begged the developer. I was like, people need to see what you've got cooking here. Can you please give me some more B-roll? And they were like, no. I was like, damn it. I get it. It's early days. Next up is Hytham G. Controversial games is what he wants to know about today. Jesse and John, welcome back from Gamescom. And Nick, I think you mean Deadly. Hopefully you go next year. Oh, no, he does mean Nick. Hopefully you go. Maybe Deadly wants to go too. Hopefully you go next year to the convention. But here is my question. Have you all heard of a game that is controversial and banned from the regions where you live? Something like Manhunt, Carmageddon, Biofreaks, Thrill Kill, and whatever the games I can list, so on. And did you all notice from the history that Mortal Kombat and the other game I've forgotten influenced rating boards across the world, overseas, but your gents' experience on these games?
I have heard of them.
Yeah, have heard of them, haven't played them. I think, was Manhunt banned in the UK?
It was banned in Australia.
Yeah.
And Thrill Kill, I think, was banned. It just never came out, and then it was repurposed into the Def Jam games, believe it or not.
Yeah. I mean, I played Carmageddon on release back in the 90s, the first one. I loved it. And if I remember correctly, there were 2 versions. There was the German version where everyone was zombies and everything was green blood. And then there was the proper version with horrible pedestrians and red blood. So yeah,
at one of our local arcades at the beach, they had a nudie poker game.
Fun.
Yep, as you won poker, the boobs came out. Real pictures, pixelized.
Wow.
I think the closest I would get to what would be banned if people knew it existed was Techno Cop, where everyone you shot just burst into a bunch of blood-looking sausage. Like, it was just incredibly violent for the 16-bit Sega Genesis era.
That sounds delightful.
I've shown it on stream before. You've seen it. It's like a side scroller with some driving, and then when you shoot someone, even if they're like a little kid, they just go blah and blow up into a massive, ridiculous-looking gore.
Sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in.
There was a PS.
There is a PS. Travis, though you're not keen on the movie, at least you watched it and pulled through. I have to say, K-pop Demon Hunters, my daughter, she's 8. I've caught her. She knows all the lyrics. She knows all the words. She's watching the sing-along version. I have been subjected to it, and I fucking hate it. So
You are a kindred spirit for Travis when it comes to being a grumpy old man.
yeah, absolutely, forever. There you go. Next question from 99 Marukan. It says, hey everyone, after playing Gears of War Reloaded, I can't wait for Gears 2 and 3. Do you guys reckon Judgment and the Aftermath campaigns be included with 3?
No.
My real question is, what remaster remake are you guys waiting for? For me, besides Gears, it would have to be Transformers, WFC, and Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron, I presume. Microsoft either needs to drop that bag or buy Hasbro to get those remasters. Just saying. Yeah, the Transformers games would do well.
I would like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 to get proper full-on remaster releases.
I would like Halo CE to get the full remake remaster treatment, and it's hopefully my wish is going to come true. Oh, what about you, Deadly?
I'm with you on that. I would really like to see Halo CE remade. I don't want it to necessarily be a frame for frame remake either. I would like certain bits fleshed out, expanded upon. I remember one of my favorite moments from Halo was that first time you hit that first time you get in a warthog and you drive on the Halo ring in the second level, and when you go back you sort of realize how short that section actually is, and I'm like, what if you could triple the amount of distance you're supposed to travel, and there was more interesting stuff happening in that world, and you fully leveraged everything that was available to you now, but you stuck to the skeleton and the bare bones of Halo CE to properly remake it and make it feel like a modern retelling
and give it an actual good story.
No,
I mean, I love the story as it was.
It's
I
bones of a story. It's not much of an actual story.
I love that, and spoiler alert, but you know, it's fucking 25 years old at this point, that reveal of the Flood for the first time. Yeah. That turning point in the game where you go, oh fuck, this is actually completely different to what I thought it was.
But then you fight them and they suck. They're not fun to fight. Never liked them.
They are fun to fight. What are you talking about?
They were never fun to fight. If you have we have a shotgun or an energy sword, they're okay. Everything else, annoying as shit.
No, man, the bit coming off the two betrayals, and then oh fuck, the Covenant are fighting the Flood, are fighting the Marines, and
it's all really cool sounding, but the Flood is not fun to fight.
I can't wait to see that reimagined.
I disagree with
you. The other one for me, I know we've had it rumored. I'm quite excited about a Fallout 3 remake because I never
that game does not. That gameplay definitely is rough. When I point a gun at someone,
I've never played it. I've played a little bit of it, but my first Fallout game was actually Fallout 4.
Yeah. If you have you ever played more Elder Scrolls Morrowind?
No. No, I haven't.
Well, it's very similar in that it's still stat based, so you can literally just swing through or shoot someone, and your stats don't match, you can miss, which kills both of those games for me. Like, I hate the fact that I am looking at you in 3D and I'm stabbing you and it says miss. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
God, I hate that.
This Fallout 3 would greatly
Oblivion
benefit.
as well, or not?
No, Oblivion changed it up.
Yeah, cool. I did start the remastered, the Oblivion remaster. It's a game I'm slowly gonna work my way through. But yeah, I was never huge on Elder Scrolls. I've never really been like that much of a fantasy RPG guy until recently, like within the last few years. I do really want to give the next Elder Scrolls game a go, like a proper go. Like ES6, I want to just fully live it. I'm looking forward to doing that.
Fair. All right. Last two questions now. Didact 3 says, hi, gentlemen. now that you guys are used to seeing cool stuff behind closed doors, I can't not ask this. If you could pick one demo and make it available for everyone to experience, what would that be and why? Replaced demo for sure.
There are no ghosts at the Grand.
Good choice.
Bork.
That's a good boy.
He is
boy?
a good boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's a good
Yeah,
boy.
you're a good boy.
Oh.
P.S. K-pop Hunters is surprisingly good, but if it's not your thing, please watch Alien Earth. It's amazing.
It's on the list. It's on the list to watch. Last question, and I feel like this is very good timing that we've got the lovely Deadly Headley here, because good old Collingwood
Has written the book.
Yep. Hello, John and Jesse, and welcome back, Mr. Headley. Subject: this is an Xbox. About 8 months, the highly controversial promotional campaign "This is an Xbox" was rolled out by Microsoft. It claims that many electronic items, such as mobile phones and TVs, could be classified as an Xbox. Mr. Headley put out a video that did a lot to clarify the initial confusion that emerged from the launch of the promotional campaign. Since that launch, many things have occurred. For example, more brands of TVs are getting the Xbox app, allowing cloud streaming of games. Formerly exclusive Xbox games are being released on other consoles. A branded handheld PC console is announced and will be released soon. Game streaming is becoming more mature and becoming more available to more customers. A modified Windows operating system that can be installed on other handheld devices is on the way, and the rumors of a new generation console to be launched in 2026. How has the initial launch of the campaign evolved and matured with these and other developments in the industry? And with
We saw it at Gamescom with their new slogan, which is what, everywhere is a great place to play, or something like that.
Everywhere is a great place. Anywhere is a great
Anywhere
place to
is a
play.
great place to play. Like, they don't give a shit. Everything is an Xbox. If you can give them money on it, that is all they care about. Obviously, you buy their console or you use their PC stuff, you're the best customer. You give us the most. But if you want to give us money, we don't give a flying rat shit where you do it. You just give us that money, and we will say thank you, honey.
I
That
think
is the philosophy.
It is just a case of that they knew their pipeline of what they're doing and how they're doing it, and this is setting the stage. And people are like, it doesn't make sense. Well, it does kind of now, right? I don't know. What are your thoughts, Deadly?
I think it always made sense. I think it was trying to do the thing that it set out to do, which was showing, hey, these are all the different ways that you can access content provided by Xbox. I think the only thing that obviously that advert wasn't going to do was go, hey, this Nintendo Switch, this PlayStation, they're also Xboxes. Like, that is, fanboy concoction and kind of nonsense, but at the same time also true. You can sign into and actually this sort of neatly goes back to the beef that I had with lack of cross progression on Helldivers, because on PlayStation you can sign into your Microsoft account. On Forza Horizon 5 you can do the same with Gears Reloaded, so any progress that you've made on PC or Xbox carries over to that platform. So yeah, they're clearly very interested in making sure that people can access their content in more places. That ultimately was the goal of the ad, showing that you could access your content via cloud, via console, via PC stream, via PC or handhelds or streaming or whatever. And I think the steps that they've taken, and again, I sort of omit the idea that a PlayStation is an Xbox from that. Like, again, that sort of kind of veers into like the fanboy nonsensey side of things. Clearly their mission statement from the mission statement from Xbox is if you're on a PC, if you're on a streaming device, if you're on a Fire Stick or a smart TV or a console, you can access the Xbox ecosystem, the Xbox platform. I think, to answer the question, how does that marketing campaign feel 8 months on? They've sort of done everything that they said they were going to do. I think the only thing not included in that was stuff like multi-plat releases, but actually we've seen from things like sales charts and things like Xbox financials, all like both of those things are boring as shit if you like video games. They're only really interesting if you like console warring. They are showing that these games are popular. People like spending money on them. People like putting time into them. And ultimately, if that means a healthier Xbox and a better portfolio of games for users on every platform as well as Xbox's own platform and ecosystem, that's awesome.
It's a new industry that they shifted to a little late, but people think it's way early, and it's like, nope. The actual next generation of players don't give a shit about any of this. They just want to play the game. They don't care where it is, but they want to be able to play it with their friends no matter what. That is their main concern. And none of them are going to have any goddamn money because the economy's shitty. And so you've got to figure out more and more ways to get everywhere.
Accessing stuff on the place that you like accessing stuff is also really important as well. Like, to go back to the mate that I've been playing Helldivers with, he's known about Helldivers for a long time. He's read up on it for a long time. He's been hyped on it for a long time, but he doesn't have a PS5. I think he's still got his PS4, but he bought an Xbox Series console this generation, and he was really, really happy when Helldivers dropped on that platform because he could play it in the place where he plays the rest of his stuff. And I think the thing that I really like about Xbox at the moment is that they've never really been that kind of, I guess they all were to a certain extent, those sort of closed ecosystems to begin with, but Xbox has been the one that's torn those walls down for a long time, not just in the last few years when we've seen things like multi-platform releases, though being able to play your games in more places, being able to synchronize saves across PC and Xbox. That actually isn't new. It wasn't new when the Xbox when the ad campaign launched. The only thing that was new about it was that they found a much cleverer way of communicating it.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Man, glad we had you on to answer that particular question as well.
It was a really good question.
Yeah, if you look at it from the old, this is our hardware, that's just not how anyone looks at it anymore. The only one who's really going to keep looking at it that way is Nintendo. Because even PlayStation 2 years ago shifted to user count. They don't get bonuses by anything else anymore.
When PlayStation said wherever is computing, we want you to play games, that was music to my ears, because I don't mind that I've bought a PS5 this generation. It's the first gaming generation where I've actually had the money to be able to buy more than one system. And I've been really grateful for that, because a lot of people, including my mate that I've just talked about, isn't willing to buy a PS5 or doesn't want to straddle two systems again, because you end up sort of spending more time and more money on one than the other. For me, my PS5 is absolutely like a secondary console that I only play specific games on. The last game that I bought for it was Death Stranding 2. Before that, I want to say it was Astrobot. And I think Death Stranding 2, I didn't want to wait for it, but I'm definitely going to play it on PC as well, because I really want to see what that game looks like on my rig. I know I'm going to enjoy playing it there. But the PS5 is sort of, it's used quite rarely, and I don't really like that reality of being asked to buy two different systems when I can't commit the same level of time and money to each one.
Yeah.
I didn't buy Helldivers 2 on PlayStation because I didn't want to pay for the online access, because I already pay for online access. I don't need to do it again. I want to play Helldivers on a system where the rest of my friends are. That's the world we live in.
Yep. And I think that's the reality that Microsoft has truly accepted, is like, as proven by the sales of Forza Horizon 5 as an example. It's a really fucking good game, but I'm not going to go out and buy an Xbox for it because I've got this machine and I've got my friends list here and I've got my purchases here, and that's going to do. Oh, but if you bring the game here, I'm going to fucking buy it.
Sold like fucking crazy.
The end. The end of the world.
Well, it was always the Xbox has no games from people who cover the gaming industry and don't use the platform. They just don't use it, so they don't know. So they think it doesn't have anything. but yet its games can go other places and sell crazy well because they're good. They're good games, just like every platform has good games. And 99% of them on PC and Xbox and PlayStation are third party anyways. It's always just been a really stupid industry.
Yeah.
And it's still as dumb as ever.
Yeah, it is very dumb. I was just reading the Xbox community thread over on Resetera, and people are asking, like, where's the best place to chat about Xbox? And someone said XboxEra is okay, it's just their forum isn't as active. And I just replied with a picture of Kevin Costner in the cornfield with if you build it, they will come, or will they? With a "don't ban me" mods. I'm only joking, because I probably will get banned for self-promotion or something.
But you've just been made whatever the hell they call it over there. Verified.
Verified. Yeah. Yes, I have been at long last. Yeah. I mean, like, I like the Xbox community over there, but I think they were all having the discussion of, like, every time they want to discuss a game, they're getting hit with, like, and there's
it's nonstop
over there of, like, ban the whole discussion of Microsoft entirely because of their shitty
and I know, and some of the people are like,
Israel. And I get it.
Yeah, we are 1,000% behind. We are 1,000,000% behind the BDS boycott. Absolutely get it. I'm not behind trying to force it, because that does not work in a boycott. Getting information out there, letting people know why and how and all that type of shit, super important. Microsoft sucks shit. I would hate to see it hurt developers within Xbox, but there's a bigger issue than all that. So 100% get it, understand, Free Palestine. We have always been that way, especially myself and Ursel talking about it on headlines, and then having them try and say, oh, they're sympathizers. Like, fuck you and fuck Microsoft.
It was an alt account trying to start.
But it is also, it's just, you can't do the backseat moderation thing. You can't allow it. It just goes real bad, and people start fighting, and people feel real bad for being in this ecosystem and not able to afford or to lie about, oh, I'm just going to drop Windows and use Linux. It's like, yeah, there's like 12 of you that might actually do that, and everyone else is just hopping on a bandwagon to feel good, and not actually doing it, nor are they probably using the services that they say they're never going to touch. It's like, there's a lot of performative bullshit mixed in with very serious issues that really do matter. And I don't think you'd ever see anyone on any of our stuff try and defend that horse crap. They just, not going to happen.
Yeah, it's Microsoft are a bad company.
Always have been. They've never been a good company. Xbox has been a good division,
all companies
I think.
Are kind of shitty.
Like, Xbox is a division full of good people. It's probably got some terrible people too. That's how people are. There's good and bad. But at companies are never good.
Sorry to get so serious and heavy in a video game podcast, but yeah, there you go.
Well, I mean, prices went up because of tariffs. The companies won't say that, but PS5 and Xbox prices have gone up because of tariffs. It just is a reality.
How could you lie?
Oh, sorry. Orange Man good.
Yeah, Orange Man good.
I lied.
All right. That's it. That's the end of the show. That's the end of all the questions. It is rocking up to 2 a.m. and I definitely want to go to bed. So big thank you to everybody that's hung out with us.
Especially
watched, asked questions.
The lovely Deadly Headley. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, guys. It's been really nice.
It's always a pleasure, mate. It's always a
And
pleasure.
next time we'll go, oh yeah, we can just go a little earlier.
Yeah, we can do it sensible time. That's a good idea. Everybody else, you know the drill. All right. There's some horrible shit going on in the world. All right. And video games are a nice, fun escape from that. And we're here to tell you about the good ones to play and the bad ones to not play, or maybe the bad ones to play because they're so bad they're good. But either way, try and relax. Mix in with the community, find some friends, shoot some things in the face, virtual, not real, and have fun. Because video games are all about that fun.
We'll 00 see you next time.
Yeah.
Ciao for now. You have the duck out. I can make the little joke. All right, bye.
Bye, everyone.